Third down and 8, sorry.
Well, I like that sound already. We're off and running here. Welcome to Friday Night Football. It's the Shasta Sports Network. Tonight's broadcast is presented by Omega Mortgage. Omega, proud to support local athletes. You can meet the Omega team at omglending.com or give them a call at 223-1400. Tonight, a nostalgic night as Bob Reed Stadium comes alive. It's high school football, the season opener. We're in Anderson as the Cubs take on the Shasta Wolves. For Anderson, head coach Donnie Trotter, a lifelong athlete out of this city, Anderson. He grew up here, went to school with him right here at Anderson, and it's a natural fit for him to be on the sidelines for the Anderson Cubs. At my side tonight, Daniel Miller, longtime friend. He's going to be providing some of the analytic commentary and offer a keen perspective. Danny, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Gary. I'm very proud to be here, and this is a fantastic thing we got going on here.
It's a very nice breeze, and we'll do a little scene setting for you when we get going here in a second. Tonight's game is also available online at xs961.com. XS Sports. They're in the game with the radio and web coverage throughout the season. Tonight's game brought to you by Shasta Solutions as well. Solutions that work for you. Reading Electric Utility. REU and you, powerful together. Boundary Waters, home of the Surf Ninja. And, of course, our good friend Tony Horde Photography, who is here with us at tonight's football game. And Hild Collision Center, where you're always a satisfied customer. Hild Collision Center is the proud sponsor of the Player of the Game feature. We'll tell you more about that as the night goes on. As we get rolling in a moment, we're going to start the broadcast off and the whole season off with a conversation with Record Searchlight sports reporter T.J. Holmes. He's all over the place. We had a little recording with him earlier. We want to share that with you in just a couple of moments. So keep it all right here for tonight's high school football opening night. It's the Shasta Sports Network debut broadcast.
For Dylan Train, broken up by
Art Hild opened his first body shop in 1965. Today known as Hild Collision Center, the North State's most recommended full-service collision repair business. The Hild family is proud to continue business in this great community. Every year brings new changes in many forms, from new vehicle models, training and equipment, new technology in aluminum bodies and frames, computers, airbags, and Pearl Clear Coat paints. You can be assured that the team at Hild Collision Center are the best in class. The Hild Collision Center family would like to say thank you to the North Valley for trusting them with your collision repairs and allowing them to grow and support our community. Hild Collision Center on East Cypress Avenue in Reading. Online at hildcollisioncenter.com or find us on Facebook. Hild Collision Center, where you're always a satisfied customer. We are back here at Bob Reed Stadium in Anderson. It's the Anderson Cubs opening night of high school football all over Northern California tonight. Some good stuff going on. The Shasta Wolves are here for the contest, and I think there's no better way than to launch the Shasta Sports Network than with our very first guest. He is the #1 sports reporter in our region. TJ Holmes from the Record Searchlight. TJ, you are involved in everything. You're in all sports, all schools. You keep a very aggressive schedule, so we appreciate your time. And as our first guest ever, welcome to the Shasta Sports Network.
Yeah, thanks, Gary. I'm excited for this season.
This year is going to be quite interesting, and boy, you've got your finger on the pulse of every single thing that's going on. You're doing 10 times what I'm doing. So from your perspective, why don't you give us an overview of how you think the season is shaping up?
Well, I think every team in this area this year has a chance to be better than they were last year. That's a lot of saying for some of the teams that didn't do as well, and for some of the teams that did really well, like Shasta, who at 10-2 went to the finals in J.C. Hunsaker's first year. That's a lot to say they can be better. That one is still be a little bit tougher to improve on, but the teams like Enterprise, Foothill has a chance to be better with their offense. West Valley, I think, is going to be absolutely dynamic. If they can get past Foothill and if they can get past Shasta, they can run the table 10-0, and they could be playing Sutter in the section championship game this year. I think Anderson has a chance to be better. CV went 0-10, but they look a lot better. I mean, no, like you say, winless season, you're going to go from there to, well, you have to kind of go up, but they have a lot more skill position players, a lot more size. Every team in this area is going to be better, and I think that's good for the fans that want to go out on Friday nights, see these teams. You're going to see some quality football.
Tonight's football game here at Bob Reed Stadium, Anderson. TJ, you've covered this game for the last 6 years in a row. What's your kind of overview and on both of these teams, and who do you think might do very well tonight?
Well, Shasta has a great chance of doing very well. Anderson is kind of that wild card right now because Don Trotter's coming in, a guy that played for Bob Reed that's bringing Smash Mouth football back, a guy that's going to run the ball. He's not going to be fancy, not going to do anything, but he has a big offensive line, a couple of guys that have power like Rodney Kincaid, who's a section wrestling champ last year. He's coming in as a junior, going to supply power, low center of gravity, really shifty, but he can really run through some people. So I think Anderson has a chance to be better. Like Don Trotter, the momentum is there. The bought in, the belief system with the players are there for the Cubs. It's just unfortunate that they're going to be running into a section finalist that won 10 games last year in this opening week. The last 6 years, it's been running clocks, and we thought it's going to be competitive like last year. But Shasta has a lot of talent. They have a lot of bodies out there. I mean, they're one of the largest schools in the area for a reason. You know, they just have so much talent to pull from. Great offensive line. Defense is going to have to be reworked a little bit, and they're kind of banged up. But I think Shasta has a chance to get out and running pretty early, just like they did last year.
Shasta, as you know already, does this hurry up offense. How do you defend against that, other than being in really good shape?
You know, you really can't talk to a lot of people about this, you know, especially because they ran this at CV when J.C. Hunsaker was the offensive coordinator for his father there a few years ago. You really can't. You just have to make sure that you're in the right position. You can't really know exactly what's going to be coming. You just got to make sure that you know where you're supposed to be before the ball is snapped, because once it's snapped, within 5 seconds of it being placed, you really can be anywhere that, you know, if you're in the wrong spot, then that could be a touchdown, no problem, because that's what that offense is predicated on, is fast and to not think and just react.
Shasta's got a very good quarterback competition right now. They got two guys in the mix that Coach Hunsaker has told us about, and he's probably going to be using a little bit of both of them this year. What do you know about each of those two, and how do you think that they will size up against this Anderson club?
Well, even when I was talking to J.C. Hunsaker for the preview, he's still, even last night on Wednesday night, he was even saying, hey, I don't even know which one's going to be starting. So obviously, I think that they're going to see both of them, like you said, especially early on the first few games until one of them really emerges. Junior Ian Garcia, a little bit smaller than Kilgore, still throws a good ball. Kilgore, the same thing. It's just a matter of what's going to be expected of this team, of these quarterbacks. And Shasta's not going to rely on them a whole lot. They want to run the ball. I mean, they're the top 3 in the section in rushing touchdowns, rushing yards per game, total offense last year. So when I talked to J.C. Hunsaker, when I went out to the practice, he told me that it doesn't matter who's going to be at quarterback. I mean, you're replacing Kyle Katzen, he's threw 20 touchdowns last year, 2-year guy. But whoever's going to be quarterback, you're not going to be relied on. Just make sure that when we do call upon your arm, you're going to complete a pass. So they're only going to throw the ball maybe 6-10 times just to keep the defense honest, so they're not throwing 10 guys in the box. So whoever's going to be in there at that time, just make sure that you complete the pass, because when we call you to throw a pass, you got to make sure that it's efficient and you're getting yardage on that.
We're talking to TJ Holmes, sports reporter for the Record Searchlight. I call you the busiest man in the sports world right now. You do a really, really super good job of covering not just the local high schools, but you got colleges that you cover. You are in tune with every single thing that's going on in this community, which I got to commend you on that, because it's really impressive. I know that you cover them all. You got people reporting to you, but how do you decide which game that you actually physically cover each week?
Well, I like to look at teams that I might not see later in the season, especially early on, to try and know that I can get there for at some point. Make sure I want to try and see everybody at least once. But when it comes down to it, I got to look at who's going to be the best matchup and what people really want to see. If people are going to see, like, I'm going to be at Foothill West Valley. This is a game that was decided in the final minute last year, 35-28, and both teams were semifinalists, and both teams are, in the top 2 and 3 in their division.
It's opening night, high school football. Tonight we are at Anderson at Bob Reed Stadium. It's the Anderson Cubs hosting the Shasta Wolves. TJ, I know you're busy. Thank you so much for taking the time out and joining the broadcast. This is the first broadcast for the Shasta Sports Network. It's been a long time in the making, and we're on and we're ready to go, and I thank you for your time.
Thanks, Gary. Anytime.
There you have the scoop from Record Searchlight sports reporter TJ Holmes. In a moment, we'll talk to Anderson Cubs head coach Don Trotter
Don is new to the football team, but he is not new to this community or this Anderson Cubs high school. He's on a mission here at Anderson, and in a moment, we'll find out what he's got in store for us. Stay tuned. This is the Shasta Sports Network on XS Sports 96.1 FM. Do you ever wonder what happens to your vehicle behind the scenes at an auto body collision repair facility? Wonder no more. Go to HilldCollisionCenter.com and watch a virtual tour of the North Valley's finest and most recommended collision repair business. HilldCollisionCenter.com.
It's no surprise, Biggins Lighting has been lighting up Reading for over 45 years. They have an amazing showroom displaying the latest in designs and styles, a dedicated staff providing superior customer service, and the most affordable pricing in town. Biggins Lighting is your one-stop shop for lighting, fans, fixtures, bulbs, and more. Looking for that special deal? Check in regularly for discounted and blowout items and ask about their internet price matching. Biggins Lighting, located on Pine Street just up the road from Lulu's in downtown Reading. Biggins, lighting up Reading for over 45 years.
For over 50 years, Hild Collision Center is still family owned and operated. It all started when Art Hild opened his first body shop in 1965. Today known as Hild Collision Center, the North State's most recommended full-service collision repair business. The Hild family is proud to continue business in this great community. Every year brings new changes in many forms, from new vehicle models, training and equipment, new technology in aluminum bodies and frames, computers, airbags, and Pearl Clear Coat paints. You can be assured that the team at Hild Collision Center are the best in class. The Hild Collision Center family would like to say thank you to the North Valley for trusting them with your collision repairs and allowing them to grow and support our community. Hild Collision Center on East Cypress Avenue in Reading. Online at HildCollisionCenter.com or find us on Facebook. Hild Collision Center, where you're always a satisfied customer.
Here we go again.
Welcome back to Anderson. It's high school football tonight. It's opening night. The Shasta Wolves are here visiting the Anderson Cubs. The Shasta Sports Network is presented by Omega Mortgage. Go to omglending.com and meet the Omega team or call 223-1400. Tonight's game is also brought to you by Shasta Solutions. Solutions that work for you. Reading Electric Utility. REU and you, powerful together. Boundary Waters, home of the Surf Ninja. And by Hild Collision Center, where you're always a satisfied customer. This is going to be a fun night. I grew up with this guy, Don Trotter. We grew up in Anderson, played ball together through our high school years, had a lot of fun in our younger days, and now we're back. Donnie, welcome to the Shasta Sports Network. Tell me about the 2016 Anderson Cubs.
Well, we're hoping to be big and physical up front. We're going to throw it a little bit, but, we're going to mainly just try to pound the ball, just like the old times.
You have, there's a big legacy and a history of Bob Reed. You knew Bob. You still know Bob very well. I know him well. I played for him. And there's a big, long history with this school with Bob Reed. Nobody has been able to match it. I don't think anybody ever can. But how do you keep that legacy, and how do you keep the intensity of this football team the way it was back when it was the best it was?
Well, preparation is everything. It's alignment and assignment, and we're going to try to line up, and we're going to try to go just like the old days. And hopefully it works out.
Who do you got that is coming back from last year's team that you know that you're going to be able to depend on and count on to make big plays?
Well, since I hardly know them all, we got the Kingston kid who's just a big monster, and Erie's on the right side, and we got a whole bunch of juniors that came up that are real physical, big and physical, and Seth White and Ryan Heisel. We plan on leaning on all those guys.
It's going to be a really good football game. Of course, this is opening night. Is there any jitters, any nervous, being this is your first football game as head coach?
Of course. I'm just want everything to go right, man. You can practice and you can prepare, and hopefully the kids respond.
What do you know about the Shasta Football Club and J.C. Hunsaker, who's their coach?
Well, they have a big name up here, as far as in the North State with, the dad and J.C. They're all quality individuals, and their defensive coordinator. I know he's been there a long, long time. I'm actually good friends with him. And, they don't really – they're like us. They're going to run the ball, and they're going to play great defense, and we're going to be ready for them.
We always you and I grew up together, and we played ball together, so we know about the heat in this area. How do you keep your conditioning going, and how do you keep these guys from just not being able to just fall over from the heat?
Water, brother. Water.
Lots of it,
yeah.
All right, so for all intents and purposes for tonight's game, what do you think would be the keys to winning this football game?
It's blocking down and kicking out and playing good defense. Just old school, let's go get it.
All right. Final remarks from Coach?
Watch out for the Cubs.
All right. Thank you, Donnie. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And there you have it from Anderson head coach Donnie Trotter. Coming up, a great conversation with Shasta head coach J.C. Hunsaker. Stay with us. This is the Shasta Sports Network on XS Sports 96.1 FM. You can now see before and after pictures at HillCollisionCenter.com. Professional grade repairs and satisfied customer reviews. Watch a free virtual tour of Hill Collision Center's state-of-the-art facility. See it online at HillCollisionCenter.com.
It's no surprise, Biggins Lighting has been lighting up Reading for over 45 years. They have an amazing showroom displaying the latest in designs and styles, a dedicated staff providing superior customer service, and the most affordable pricing in town. Biggins Lighting is your one-stop shop for lighting, fans, fixtures, bulbs, and more. Looking for that special deal? Check in regularly for discounted and blowout items and ask about their internet price matching. Biggins Lighting, located on Pine Street just up the road from Lulu's in downtown Reading. Biggins, lighting up Reading for over 45 years.
For over 50 years, Hild Collision Center is still family owned and operated. It all started when Art Hild opened his first body shop in 1965. Today known as Hild Collision Center, the North State's most recommended full-service collision repair business. The Hild family is proud to continue business in this great community. Every year brings new changes in many forms, from new vehicle models, training and equipment, new technology in aluminum bodies and frames, computers, airbags, and Pearl Clear Coat paints. You can be assured that the team at Hild Collision Center are the best in class. The Hild Collision Center family would like to say thank you to the North Valley for trusting them with your collision repairs and allowing them to grow and support our community. Hild Collision Center on East Cypress Avenue in Reading. Online at HildCollisionCenter.com or find us on Facebook. Hild Collision Center, where you're always a satisfied customer.
Here we go again.
This is the Shasta Sports Network on XS Sports 96.1 FM. Tonight's game presented by Omega Mortgage. Go to omglending.com to meet the Omega team or call 223-1400. Coach J.C. Hunsaker from Shasta. 10 wins last season in his first year. A playoff berth, a great year. Coach, to me it seems like it's been a very long offseason. Welcome to the Shasta Sports Network. Tell us about your ball club and what do the Shasta Wolves have for us tonight here at opening night?
Yeah, it seems like it has been a long off season, but then you get into the grind and you don't have enough time to practice and get your guys ready to rock and roll, and then we're thrown in the mix. It's been exciting. I know kids are excited to get this back in a way. It was a good vibe with what we accomplished last year, but still hungry to not quite attain what we set out last year. So kids are hungry. We've got some new kids on campus transferring in, interested about Shasta football. It's exciting. I'm ready to see what the young men can do, put all their hard work into play.
Who do you have coming back from last year's ball club?
Last year's ball club we were very senior heavy, but the juniors that were on the team, we didn't have a high number, but they got a lot of action. Some of the standouts from last year's juniors were big man up front, Kari Kutch. He's a big old guy. You can't mistake him on the field. You know where that big man's at all times. Kyle Muckle is a skill guy for us that had a very good year. Then two defensive backs that started for us and had good years as juniors. Rotavia Matthews, he plays free safety for us, and Ryan Dean at that corner spot. Other than that, we were wide open in the starting areas. We didn't set a depth chart till the end of our first week on Friday on who we feel gives us the best option, and we've continued to have to change those around based upon who's showing up, working hard, and impressing the coaches these last 2 weeks.
Who do you have in competition for the quarterback position, the guy who you expect to lead your team this year?
It's been a big question mark. We've had over these past 3 weeks of our summer camp to split time with a sophomore and Brian Kilgore and a junior and Ian Garcia, and we've tried to really give them both options to win that spot. After our scrimmage last Friday, we still couldn't dictate, hey, this guy is superior over this guy. So in terms of what we got rolling in Friday night, we're kind of doing something I'm usually not a fan of doing, but we're going to rotate quarterbacks and get them in game-like situations and see if one of those guys can separate themselves to say, hey, this is our guy that can be the best leader for us. So both Mr. Kilgore and Mr. Garcia are going to get action.
That sounds good. So tell me about your coaching staff. Do you have all the same people coming back, or do you have a new additive this year?
We at the varsity level, we stay consistent within the same. We got 5 guys that have helped us out, myself included of those 5, but very good, cohesive unit, great football knowledge within it. We've added some new guys at the lower levels that have really helped at the JV and Frosh level. I'm excited to have them on. They're a good part of the nucleus that we have, because we as a coaching staff, we got to put in the time to help prepare our kids, but there's some long hours and we got to be able to enjoy each other, and we've created that environment here. I'm excited to have them all with us.
It's opening night. We're here at Bob Reed Stadium in Anderson. What do you know about Coach Don Trotter? He's coming in new.
Coach Trotter, I know him through different facets of life. He's a very good guy. I think he's a hard-nosed guy, and I think that's what he's going to bring to Anderson football. That you kind of read in the paper and kind of in talking with him, and his personal philosophy of football is ground and pound, hard nose. We're going to come at you and we're going to be tough, and I fully expect that the Anderson team to do just that. I have no doubts that they're going to line up, square off against us, and anything that we get, we have to earn. We can't anticipate just giving it to us freely. That's not going to happen.
Running the ball, throwing the ball, doing whatever you need to do with that ball. What are your keys to winning tonight's game?
The biggest important factor for us, especially with being untested, is ball security. And I think that can be said for a lot of programs. If you win the turnover battle, you're going to put yourself in a great chance to win. But definitely at that spot with us, because we have new quarterbacks that are going to get exposed to varsity football tonight for the first time. And they can't let the emotions get the best of them and get nervous. They got to get in check and facilitate the offense. We need to do it and get the ball to the right guys. We're going to pride ourselves in running the football first, throwing the ball second, but we can't be 100% one or the other. That's not how football works. Otherwise, we're going to run into numbers where we're going to lose that battle. So hopefully we've got enough of a balanced attack to keep Anderson on their toes, but we want to run the ball.
This Shasta Sports Network has been a long time coming. You and I talked about it way last year during the middle of the season. We went through all the steps. We jumped through all the hoops. We put everything together. And I just wanted to thank you for being an advocate for that. And Heath Bunton, who was the guy who we had to go through the administration to make things happen. Everything worked out well. And we're very pleased to be part of your football team this year. We're going to do a great job for you.
I appreciate it. I think it's awesome what you guys are doing. I know the kids will be excited when they've got family members that can't make it to the game out of town. I'll give them this link so they can tune in and hopefully be those avid fans that are sitting at home. And I can't thank you guys enough for what you're doing for the kids and our Shasta community.
Fantastic. It's opening night, Coach. I wish you well and a great season, and good luck tonight here at Anderson.
Thank you very much, Gary. You do the same.
Shasta coach J.C. Hunsaker with the strategy and the setup for tonight's game. He's a good guy. We're going to be talking to him a lot this season. Coming up in a moment, it's the Anderson Cubs and the Shasta Wolves. Opening night from Bob Reed Stadium here in Anderson. You're listening to the Shasta Sports Network on XS Sports 96.1 FM. You can now see before and after pictures at HillCollisionCenter.com. Professional grade repairs and satisfied customer reviews. Watch a free virtual tour of Hill Collision Center's state-of-the-art facility. See it online at HillCollisionCenter.com.
All right, that must be us. Back here, Bob Reed Stadium is a beautiful place. Let me set the scene for you here. Daniel Miller and myself, Tony Hord's going to join us on the microphone here in just a second. Bring that down a little bit. It's beautiful. I grew up right over those trees, Danny, in that neighborhood right over there. Don
To
Trotter,
the right of us?
To the right of us.
Okay.
Don Trotter was a great friend of mine growing up. We played ball together. He's the head coach here. He's standing right out there next to the 50. Anderson is in their patented blue and gold, all blue jerseys, pants, helmets, gold numbers, gold emblems. Shasta is in their gray pants, white shirt, white helmets, purple numbers. Shasta's on the right side of the field, which I think that would be like kind of southwest. And then Anderson is on the left side of the field, which would be northwest. We got 11 minutes to go before game time, and the place is filling up. I was telling you a little bit earlier that this place, we did a game here last year, and this place is a spirited group of fans, parents, kids, everything.
They are really spirited here, and Coach Trotter, being new this year, he's gonna bring some Smash Mouth football back to Anderson.
That's the buzz phrase right now.
That is the buzz phrase.
Football. When we got to take you back to long time ago, 36 years ago today, Danny. I played for Bob Reed on this field, and I was not a big dude, but he taught me some things, not just about football, but about life in general. You can just let that run out, and it's worked out really good for us. So I'm going to tell you a little something about Coach Bob Reed.
Talk to me about Bob.
He is, of course, it's Bob Reed Stadium. They have dedicated this place to him, and he might even be here tonight because he comes to as many games as he can, and he's very active in the community, and he's got a lot of things that he has contributed to as far as events, nostalgia, history, and teaching kids in school. So his record as coach, they dedicated this stadium to him on September 1st in 2000, 16 years ago. Here is his record.
Okay.
And now this is just one little snapshot of why he is so great.
Okay.
He was a teacher for 35 years, from 1964 to 1998.
Wow.
He was the varsity head coach for 30 years, from 1970 to 1999. He was the North Section Coach of the Year 3 times in 1977, 1986, and 1994. He was the California Coach of the Year in 1995 and 1999. It's very unheard of to make that twice. 13 Northern Athletic League championships, 4 North Section championships. His overall varsity record, this is going to impress you. Without even meeting the guy, you will be impressed.
I'm ready.
223 wins, 94 losses, 4 ties.
Wow, what a record.
And that is the legacy of the Anderson Cubs and the coaching staff, and a gentleman that we all know and love dearly, Mr. Bob Reed.
Bob Reed really took care of this program, and I believe head coach Trotter is going to try to bring that intensity back to Anderson.
He is.
Because when we went to school, of course, I went to a different school. I went to Central Valley, but still, Anderson was always tough.
They were. When Bob Reed was coaching, boy, I tell you what, he just had a way with players. He had a way of making things happen for people, and we love him. Everybody loves him. You mention that name, and everybody just gets a smile on their face.
They know him here in Anderson, California.
There are some people on this roster. And I'll be real honest with you, I'm unfamiliar with most all the players on this roster. There's a gentleman named Joe Carrillo. He's number 50. He is a center. And I ran into his mother in the parking lot, and I went to school with her here at Anderson. I haven't seen her for 35 years. It's like old home week around here. So I'm really having a good time. Teams are warming up right now, and it's just going to be such a good night. It's the opening night of high school football. And just for a moment, I want to talk about what it took for us to get here. We came up with the idea last year when we were approached by a party, and we put some numbers down and we put some plans together, and we went out in the community and we started, making a pitch. And there's some people that jumped right on board without hesitation. And I got to give some credit to my friend Dan Landis at Omega Mortgage, and also Tyler Whitlow, who also works within Omega Mortgage. He has a company called Shasta Solutions. Between those two, they are the brain power and the driving force behind the Shasta Sports Network. Tyler set us up with all this high-end broadcast gear.
Yes.
And we're using XSplit Broadcaster, which is one of the best in the business. It's primarily designed for games. They've got an XSplit Gamecaster, but they've got a broadcaster too, and it's growing. It's so fast. It's been around for a long time, but it's growing really fast. It's got a lot of different options and varieties of things that you can do with the screenshots and stuff like that, and we'll add a lot more to the program. This is our first broadcast, and it's amazing what went into this. You and I together pretty much have spent time together every single day over the last couple of weeks.
The last couple of weeks we have been hitting the grindstone, but people support this because they care about their local football teams and they care about their community. They really care about their community, and they really care about the athletic programs.
They do. All
They
over
do.
the place.
Yes.
And so this will be our first actual real game time broadcast.
Ladies and
Wow.
gentlemen, if you'd
There we
please
go.
rise for the playing of
Oh, you know
our
what?
national anthem.
We're gonna stay with them for the national anthem. We'll do
Why
that
don't we
right
stay?
here.
Why don't we do that?
We did a test broadcast last Wednesday at Shasta High School, and it was 70% flawless. we had a
couple snags.
We had a media player
The
incident.
national anthem tonight will be performed by the Anderson Union High School Band under the direction of Mr. Michael Costa.
Yeah, this is great. So we'll just let him go.
Yes. Yeah.
I tell you what,
I got
Ladies and
goosebumps.
gentlemen, the Anderson Union High School Band.
I got goosebumps, Gary.
we're going to let our announcer in the booth kind of accompany our broadcast tonight because their
definitely.
speakers are right here, and it's a natural thing. So we've got 3 announcers here tonight. Tony Hort Photography is the official photographer of the Shasta Sports Network. Tony's here with us tonight, and we appreciate you being out. It's nice to come to a high school football
Good
game.
evening,
When's the
ladies
last
and
football game
gentlemen.
you went
Welcome
to?
Bob Reed Stadium.
Oh gosh, I
Home
think
of the
I went to a
Cubs.
Central Valley game about 2 years ago.
Really? That's been a long time.
Tonight's matchup hits the Wolves from Shasta against your own
Well, Tony and I got a little bit of history
Anderson.
because we actually went to high school together, graduated from Central Valley. Tony has always been a really good friend, and Tony, I'm glad that you're on board with Shasta Sport Network because you are a fantastic photographer. You're my computer man, too.
Absolutely, Dan.
So, Tony, what year did you graduate school? What year did you graduate?
1984.
1984. Danny was on the 7-year high school program.
Yes.
Right
I went
behind
1984, 1985, and 1986.
So I just met you recently, and we've done a little bit of work together, and you thought it would be a good idea to get involved with the Shasta Sports Network, and we thought it would be a natural fit for you to get involved with us as well. So we're very pleased that you're all part of the network this year. It's the the inaugural season, and we're going to build it, and it's going to be nice, and it's nice to have you on board.
Well, thank you, Gary. It's a pleasure to be here. I like exciting things, and I can see that this is an exciting thing. I love that. I love watching football in the summer evenings, so it's great to be down here for this, and it's a pleasure to be here with you tonight.
Thank you so much. So they're doing starting lineups right now. They just did the coin toss. We're going to get the signal here from the officials. They'll let us know exactly who did what, who's going to receive. Did they didn't
I
give
believe they already did that, and
Oh,
I
nice.
believe that Shasta went ahead and took the right side, which would be the southwest side, and I believe Shasta won the coin toss.
The weather is perfect.
Number 5,
It's absolutely
Ryan
beautiful.
Heisel.
There's about a 40% haze
Number
of smoke
44,
from the
Eric
fires
Kingston.
with the mountains glowing behind them.
But you can still see Lassen.
You can still see Lassen.
Yes, you can, Gary. We got a beautiful view of Lassen, and we are ready for kickoff here at Bob Reed Stadium.
There you go. Shasta will be receiving. So they're going to go to work. And we talked to Coach Hunsaker. You heard that interview just a couple of moments ago. He does not have a solid set quarterback. He's got two.
He's got two of them.
And he's going to mix them up tonight. And you know what? That is really good. And he said he doesn't like to do it, but it's really kind of a good thing because you get the defense all tuned into one set, and then you throw in another guy with a different arm, different speed, different moves, and then they keep you honest on the defense.
Absolutely.
So we've got some good stuff back deep for Shasta. Number 2, Connor Cohen.
For the Cubs will be number 7, Manny Gomez.
You also got number 12 there,
Dropping back
Gary.
deep for the Wolves will be number 2, Connor Cochran, and number 12, Seth Park.
Seth Park,
Yeah,
number 12.
Here's the guy I want you to keep your eyes on tonight. I see him standing over on the sidelines, and that's Kyle Muckle.
Ladies and gentlemen,
This guy
are you ready for
is
some
about this big,
football?
and he's fast.
Here we go.
We are getting ready for kickoff here.
Varsity football season.
They are lined up and getting ready to go, Gary. And the 2016 season is about ready to get underway for the varsity Shasta Wolves versus the Anderson Cubs.
Okay, they're all lined up for the kickoff. Anderson kicking from our left to our right. It's kind of a short kick. It bounces down and goes right out of bounds, and one of the coaches actually almost caught it. That was a weird kick.
That was
okay, opening season, I say put that sucker through the uprights.
At about the 27
Let her buck.
Well, you know what? There's a couple of players that I'm really going to keep an eye on tonight, Gary. First of all is going to be number 58, and that's Kari Cush. He is the solid guy for that offensive line, but this year he is 6'5", 275 pounds.
Wow.
And
That's
he
a
is
big boy.
Yeah, he is a big boy, but this year they are moving him over to defense.
These high school boys are a lot bigger now. I don't know what they're feeding them. They can't be eating much more differently than I did.
They
when
look
I
like
was
they
in
should
school.
be in. They already look like they should be in the NFL.
But
They're
you know what?
huge.
They're a lot like race car drivers. They train them now at a very young age. They breed them. They grow them.
They do.
Feed them.
Well, Cush is the core of that offensive line. He can take on any defender that tries to come in on him. But if he can bring that same intensity over to the defensive line, then he will have a great game.
There's another short kick right there. That's a short kick. Shasta takes the ball. Not really a return whatsoever. That may have been by design because they got some speed back there. So it looks like the Shasta Wolves will start the 2016 season at their own 41. First and 10, Shasta. Now what you'll notice is what we expect is that Shasta runs a hurry-up offense.
They run a no-huddle offense.
Oh, wow.
Right, so what you'll notice, Tony, is that as soon as the ref puts the ball down, they'll snap it within 5 seconds.
5 seconds, they're on their way.
And you see Anderson trying to get ready because that throws them off guard really easily, you know.
Sure.
And if you're not ready, you're going to get hung up, and you're going to give up 6 points.
How many plays do you think Hunsaker has scripted, Gary?
You know, I really don't know. You and I talked about that a little bit earlier in the pregame show. Normally, they would script out 10 maybe. That's why in NFL you see these quarterbacks with all these lists on their arm all taped on. They script them out. Okay, so 3rd and 6 to go. Handoff goes over to the left-hand side, and that is number 12, and that's Seth Park. And Seth gets outside. He is hammered right there at the 34-yard line and set out of bounds. That was like a head-on collision almost.
And that, again, all starts with that offensive line doing their job right in the gutter there.
I'm looking at that 58. Is that guy who you talked about a little bit earlier? 6'4", 275 pounds.
Kari Cush.
Boy. Big
the Cush
dude.
man. He is a huge guy. He is the core of that offensive line.
Okay, Ian Garcia.
Oh,
drops back, and he was almost brought down. He got thrown down.
Oh, the ref is limping too.
Yep, I think the ref took a little pain on that one.
He took a little shot.
Dude, that was Kyle Muckle. And that's something that I would never have expected for his first time touching the ball this year. Kyle Muckle's got some stats from last year. If we have time a little bit later during the halftime show, we'll play a little highlight reel that we made for Shasta last year.
Okay. To the 41-yard line.
So we'll try it again. It's 1st and 10, or 2nd and 10. Pass over to the right-hand side. Tipped by Anderson, number 5, right at the line of scrimmage. That is Ryan Heisel. He's one of the gentlemen that Don Trotter said, watch this guy. He's going to make things happen. And he did right there.
3rd and long.
3rd and a long way to go. They are at the Anderson 42, right about the 42.
I'm really curious to see how Heisel plays tonight. He is their quarterback, but he hasn't played here in like 4 years.
You see there at the 44-yard line, number 3, Kyle Muckle. Kyle's a senior this year. He's 5'9" and weighs 165 pounds, and he is lightning fast. And,
nice
handoff
stop in
over
the backfield
to number 12, and that was a no gain. Seth Park. He had the ball in his hand for about a fraction of a second before they threw him down.
That's that Rodney Kincaid. He is a section wrestling champion, and now he's making his move over to football.
Now we know why. He throws people around like they're ragdoll.
He is fast, and if he brings that intensity on defense, he's going to cause some damage in the backfield there. Great open field tackle.
Okay, so Shasta got hit with an illegal motion right there, and that'll back him up. It'll be 4th down and a long way to go, 4th and 21. And they do not look like they're lined up in a punting situation. Here comes the punting team now, I think. Seems to be a little bit of confusion out there. You can expect that for the first night of football. They've been practicing a lot, but when you get in a game situation, you start getting a little nervous, a little antsy. You want to get through the first quarter, and then you start coming together. You hit some guy, or some guy knocks you on your can, and that'll wake you right up. And then you know football season is underway. He's not back very far, but he'll roll out to the right-hand side. Quarterback number 5, Garcia, and he'll throw it, tipped again. And that's an incomplete pass.
What a good defensive stand by Anderson there.
Nice job. Anderson showing some good defense. Donnie's put something into him this year.
That was Ryan Heisel again.
Yeah.
Tipped it.
I got a feeling you're going to hear a lot about that guy.
Martinez knocking the ball down.
Or Martinez,
Anderson
rather.
Holmes takes over and downs. First down Cubs.
All right.
Thrown 46-yard line.
That's a great starting position for the Cubs this year.
Okay, Gary, one I want you to keep an eye on is number 41. That is Retravian Matthews for Shasta.
That guy was an all-star last year. You'll see him do some good things this year, too. Quarterback is number 5, Heisel.
And that was Rodney Kincaid carrying the ball.
Kincaid, the ball carrier for the Cubs. Rodney gets across midfield to the
Short
49-yard line.
Got about a 5-yard gain, a little more. 2nd down and 5. And they'll call it officially 6 on the board. Shasta,
Shasta Sports Network
last year
is our audio in the game.
All right.
Shasta plays what they call a gap defense, and he does that because of their 2 defensive backs that he's got. He's got Matthews in the backfield, and he also has Dean in the backfield. They are both top.
Heisel hands off left tackle over the left-hand side. He's met by 2 Wolves right away. Then another one jumps on and drops him back about 3 more yards. No gain. Probably lost a couple.
That was number 54 on the defense there.
That was made by Troy Lyons.
Troy Lyons.
And we're going to rely a lot on our announcer who's real close by. They've got a spotter in there.
Yes, they do.
They got guys with binoculars and stuff, and it's a little bit difficult to see the Anderson numbers, some of them, especially the single-digit numbers. So we got a guy flared way out to the right. That'll be Seth White. He's over here on our side, another wide receiver. They hand it up right up the middle, and he's hit right at midfield. There will be no gain on that one.
That's that defensive line, and that's where it starts with. Kurt Ramage, the defensive coordinator for Shasta. He is an alumni at Shasta, and that guy bleeds purple. And I tell you what, he doesn't build a defense with linebackers like most coaches in the North State do. He starts right up front.
These guys are, sorry, Danny, these guys are really hungry, okay?
They are.
Last year, well, we'll get this playoff, and then I'll explain to you what happened last year, because it was a really great season for Shasta. They were on a natural high until they got a loss. There's comes up a punt. That's not too bad of a punt. It'll be taken at the 15-yard line, and he's brought down. He takes a couple of juke steps to the right, left, one forward, and brought down.
That was Kirk Gibson in the back catching that, but he got dropped immediately. So tell me about Shasta last year on their high.
So J.C. Hunsaker, it was his first year coaching at Shasta last year.
He came from Central Valley, correct?
He did. Whereas
Okay.
he was an offensive coordinator for his dad, who was the head coach there.
Okay.
And they won 10 games. Okay, the regular season is 10 games plus a couple of extras. They made it plus one playoff game. They went to a second divisional playoff game down in Pleasant Valley, and they got their lunch handed to them. It was a big score, like more than I can even remember. No gain on the play. That was a handoff right up the middle. So they're hungry. They remember, and they focused in their preseason stuff on that Pleasant Valley game. This year, Pleasant Valley comes up to Shasta, and I'm told that Pleasant Valley has everybody coming back except for 2 guys.
Wow.
So there's a lot. Fumble in the backfield, and he'll fall right on it. Ian Garcia
on the play.
in the quarterback position right
Garcia
now.
gets back there
It's kind of a
on
bobbled
it
snap,
away.
really.
Velocity back to the 6-yard line.
So Hunsaker did that his first year of coaching.
First year.
First year.
Yeah, so they're hungry, and they picked up the theme with that whole PV loss right when they got things going, and the hurry up off. Oh, there's another high snap. Garcia picks it up barely, and he is tackled in the end zone, and that is a safety for the Cubs.
Garcia brought down in
What
the
a
backfield.
defense from Anderson. Boy, they are just manhandling that front line there.
Rodney Kincaid getting in there first.
That offensive line has to do a better job of protecting that. And that high snap's got to stop.
I'll tell you what, it's really nice to see this good of a start for Anderson with Donnie Trotter as the coach, because he was nervous. I mean, he knows the game. He played the game. He did some assistant coaching for a long time, and I don't think that they found anybody that they really, really wanted. And Donnie said, you know what, I'll do it. I'll take it, and we're going to take it to him. And, he's a tough guy. He always was a tough guy. And, just to see him wandering back and forth. And Donnie is normally a quiet guy. I've always knew him as a quiet guy, shy guy. I know him like I know you.
Yeah.
And he was a little reluctant about doing an interview with us at the time. And he wouldn't even go on television to do an interview with the news reporter because that's not him.
No, it's not. He's all about football, and he cares about the program. When we came here to the practice, it seemed like he was not shy.
No, not at all.
It was like, this is not smash mouth football. We want to play smash mouth football. Do it again. Run it again. They probably ran the same play 17 times.
He'll get in there and he'll do a good job, and the guy knows how to fish.
Yes, he does.
And that's what really matters. Tony, when's the last time you caught a fish?
It's been too long, Gary. Way too long.
Okay, so safety, they'll kick off. Shasta from our right to our left. They're at the 20-yard line right now. Here comes the kick. It's not a long kick. It'll get down to about the 35, take a bounce. Anderson will bobble it, and it'll roll out of bounds. So Anderson will take over at their own 34-yard line, and they're off to a really good start. 2-0 safety that Anderson just achieved. 6:49 to go in the first period.
Kick is
well, let's see if this
down at about
defensive
the 34-yard line. Be
Kurt
first and 10
Ramage,
for the Cubs.
let's see if he can get this
Thrown
defense
34-yard
going and
line.
make another stop here against Anderson. But Anderson is just on a roll right now. They are winning the game in the trenches right now, which starts with the offense and defensive line.
You can tell which one's Kurt Ramage, too. He's pacing back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
He's pacing back and forth.
Like
He'll do 73 miles before this game's over.
Oh, yeah. He should have a Fitbit on.
That's right. Handoff right up the middle. He's got a short gain, 2, possibly 3. So Anderson looking really good so far, and that's nice to see. My old team, I was number 75. Uniforms have come a long way, too. Their uniforms are super nice. They're ventilated. Technology,
Numbers are nice
I
and
guess.
large.
Yep.
They are. They're good-looking uniforms.
The only thing Nike when I was in high school were the white shoes with a big red swoop. Remember those?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody had to have them.
Those in the Converse.
Oh, yeah. I was a Converse All-Star guy. Okay, Anderson quarterback. That is Ryan Heisel. He'll take the ball, hand it off right over left tackle. He's met by a host of Shasta Wolves, 3 of them. And down goes Frazier.
Down goes Frazier.
Dylan
That's
Brooks.
number 88. Also, Lane Bowman coming in there.
Lose 2 yards on that one.
That's where they have to start winning the game there,
Third
is
down
right
line
in
Cubs.
the defensive line has to get that penetration past the offensive line and get in there and put pressure on this quarterback.
This
quarterback hasn't played for a while.
That's right. And Donnie told us when we visited him the other day, he said we're probably not going to throw the ball a lot. We'll throw it up. We'll mix it up a little bit, but we're going to run it. We're going to go right at him. We're going to go right at him.
Sounds like Bob Reed.
It does. Reed was tough, but we had some great football players back then. Dave Westlake was our quarterback, and he was good. Greg Grandel.
Right there.
There's sack in the backfield. They'll take it back down to the 28-yard line. That's what the defense is normally accustomed to, and I believe that was Lane Bowman.
That was Lane Bowman coming right up the center there, number 88, and he just put the pressure on and just got to the quarterback immediately.
We were saying a second ago, one of the players that I played with who was an all-star for Bob Reed back when, I think he was a year ahead of me, was Greg Grandel. And Greg Grandel is the head coach at West Valley now.
Oh.
And they're playing Foothill tonight, and that is going to be a good game to watch. There's the snap. They're going to go for a punt. He rolls out. The punt is blocked. Blocked. Nice job. And now Shasta is coming to life. 23 involved down there. That was Gideon McGreeny.
And also Corbin. That's that Muckle kid that came in through there too.
First and 10 at the Anderson 16-yard line.
Kyle Muckle is on offense and on defense, I believe. Or he's in the backfield. He's a little guy too, and you would never know that the guy has got explosive speed like he does. I've been trying to keep my eye on him all night long, but he hasn't really handled the ball yet.
No, he hasn't.
When he does, he'll make a play.
That's that two quarterbacks that they're switching around.
Yeah,
it keeps the defense confused.
Garcia in there right there, man in motion. Handoff goes over to the left-hand side. Not bad. Good move. And he's going to go all the way into the end zone. That's touchdown Shasta, number 2, Connor Congren. No flags on the play.
Ball carried in by Connor Congren.
And Shasta will strike with 4:29 left to go in the first period.
That's their fullback, 6'2", 185 pounds. And he's got some speed.
You want to see, I mean, yeah, he looked fast. Wait till you see Kyle Muckle get that ball.
Oh, yeah.
That guy looks like an Olympic track star.
And it looks like that the head coach hasn't missed a step with his running back after losing his star player last year.
Brian Kilgore takes a bad snap, a bad placement, and the extra point is just barely good. That looked like one of those Nerf footballs that you couldn't throw in a perfect spiral. It went right through the goalpost. So, 4:29 left to play. It's Shasta 7, Anderson 2. And we have so many fun things that we're going to do before the course of the evening right now. We'll just stay right here as they get set for the kickoff. Hild Collision Center proudly presents and supports local athletes and presents the Player of the Game Award every single game of the season. Each player will be highlighted, and a special end-of-the-year award presentation will take place, and Hild Collision Center will make a contribution back to the football program at Shasta. Hild gives back, supporting their community. They do small dent repair, complete collision repairs. They do it all. They've got a video on their website, hildcollisioncenter.com. If you've not seen that, go take a look at it. It's very tastefully done, not because I'm in it and the voice of it, but we filmed it with a drone, and it was just a lot of fun, and it turned out really super nice. Hild Collision Center, 1579 East Cypress Avenue. Give them a call at 222-6828. They will bring you the Player of the Game Award at the end of the game. We'll announce that player. And we're off and running with Hild Collision Center. I see Evan Schreiber from KRCR Channel 7 down on the sidelines. We did an interview earlier to kick off our first network broadcast with Tiffany Wong. We met her over here at the Bob Reed Stadium, and we had a nice little interview. And not seen it yet, but I'm sure it was a remarkably good job. They do really good work there.
You told me you found the plaque of Bob Reed.
I did. They had moved it. It was on the side of the snack bar last year. We were here the other day, and we figured they just took it down because people vandalized it or take it or whatever. They have embedded it in a big, giant boulder right outside the front gate, and it looks great.
That's fantastic. That is awesome. What a great way to remember such a fantastic guy. 233 wins. My goodness.
That's a lot.
That's so close to Don Shula.
The Shula man, 1972, perfect record. All right.
He signals for a fair catch, number 4.
Fair catch at the 35. I don't really understand what these kickoffs are all about. They're either squib kicks or over to the right. Maybe they don't. Maybe everybody back deep is a threat, and they want to keep the ball out of their hands. That's what
you can better believe that they've done their homework on some of these teams here, and I'm really excited about that because that's that intensity that brings it back to high school football.
This is a good crowd here, too, here at Anderson. They support their school and their players. It's going to be a fun night. Heisel underneath the center right now. There's the snap. He'll drop back to pass. Drops back deep. Throws it over to the right-hand side to number 8. And that's Mario Martinez. And he'll get a short gain, but just barely won't even make it back up to the original line of scrimmage. May have even lost a yard on that.
I tell you what, Troy Lyons, number 54, was coming through the center there, and he was putting some pressure on that quarterback. He had to get rid of it in a hurry.
So that was the first deep drop for Heisel. Normally when they drop back the way that he did, they're looking downfield or running an out pattern or something across the middle, but that was not really a screen pass, but just a flare out to the right-hand side. We'll see what they got now. 2nd and 12, ball at their own 33, 3:47 left to play. Shasta leads 7-2 in this opening night here at Bob Reed Stadium. Handoff goes off tackle right there. He runs in to number 2, who is already very busy in this game. That's Connor Coghran. He's the one that made the touchdown a few minutes ago.
Bring up 3rd down for the Cubs.
So, little ways to go. 3rd and 9.
Connor Cochran making the stop for the Wolves.
I don't think you're going to see much passing from them. They're going to run it right up their throat. But with 2 defensive backs like Shasta has in the backfield that can take a man one-on-one in a tight coverage, I don't see them throwing the ball that much.
Well, there's a wide definition of smash mouth football, and you're seeing a lot of it right here. They got receivers all the way out to the right, one far to the left, man in motion. Handoff goes right up the middle, and that is going to go for no gain, and about 7 Wolves pile on top of him.
He met number 55, Alex Dawson, right there in the center there and just stopped him cold.
Kincaid, the ball carrier. He's going to pick up a yard or 2, bring up 4th down.
Rodney Kincaid, number 10, is 5'8", 180 pounds. He is a junior, so he's still got a couple of years left.
That's that wrestler that I was keeping my eye on earlier.
4th and 7, they're in punt formation. We got a player on each side of the field, wide out, set to go down and pick up that runner. Not a great punt. The kicking game has been very lackluster so far. Nobody touches it. They'll finally down the ball right there at the 35-yard line, and that's where Shasta will take over. Number 31 was the gentleman, the player that got on top of that board, and that was Jack Powell.
Let me give you a little history on Rodney Kincaid. Section wrestling champion Rodney Kincaid. He is going to be dangerous in that backfield if he can. He's got leverage, he's got strength, and he's got quickness. If he can bring that onto the defensive side, he's going to do a lot of damage to a lot of offenses this year.
I agree with that. Okay, Shasta now takes the ball. Snap goes over to the right-hand side. He'll hand it to Kyle Muckle, and Kyle Muckle gets busy. He's around the outside. He's up to the 50 midfield, down to the 45 and the 42. Big run and a big gain for Kyle Muckle. Now he's back in style.
That guy has got some speed. Wow.
He had speed, and he had about 7 guys around him that time.
He outran that whole defensive line
Kyle Muckle, the
right to the right side.
He gets inside Cup territory to
and there's that no-huddle offense getting ready to roll again, Gary.
I know. You know what? I got a comment on that hurry-up offense. I'll tell you something in a second. That ball goes right off tackle to the right-hand side. No gain. He'll stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. The offense for Shasta last year was extremely intense. It's the best job of the hurry-up offense that I've ever seen in my life. They don't have that yet. Doesn't mean that they won't, but they're getting in the groove. It'll take the first quarter, to get things done. Handoff left-hand side, no gain. They may have lost a yard on that.
That's Coghran again, carrying the ball.
The ball carrier.
Yeah. Football is a lot like an auto race. You really don't get in the groove till you put in about 50 laps.
Yes.
They need to get the first quarter under their belt, get the nerves and the jitters out of their way. Like I tell you, one good hit, if you hit somebody and knock them on their can, you're going to be awake for the rest of the season.
Ladies
But
and gentlemen,
if
take
you
a
get
trip down
knocked
to
on
the north of
yours,
the field. Check out that
you're going to get a wake-up call too, and your
2016
game is going to
Dodge Dart
elevate at that
Tony
exact
Jones
moment.
wholesale.
And it's also a
Tickets
timing
to
thing that they have to get down with that no-huddle
$20
offense
to
that they
win.
run.
2016 Dodge Dart donated.
But this
to
roof
us
that
by
we're on
Tony
is like
Jones
flimsy.
Wholesale.
It's a little flimsy, but I tell you what, we got those Bob Euchre seats. We are way up there.
We are about at the I'm at the 45,
Ladies and gentlemen,
and
we
you're
have
at like the
cell phone that was
35,
lost in
or
the
no, you're at the
grand
40.
stand.
I'm at the 45. You're at the 50. You're right in the center.
Tony's splitting it at right about the 42. He's got the best seat in the house. And it looks like we got the water boys, the young junior Cubs, and that looks like an junior Enterprise guy, Enterprise Hornet. That's nice. The 128 left to play. Clock is stopped. It's 3rd and 10 right now. And they'll put the ball in play right now where all systems go. Oh, and Anderson drawn offsides. Flags are out. That'll be a free nickel for the Wolves.
Look at the defensive coordinator, Mario Martinez, is just upset at that. He is upset at that. Look at him. He's pacing the sidelines, too.
He's doing everything but throwing ninja stars out there. Okay, here we go. In the backfield, it's Garcia. Muckle in motion. Garcia flares out to the right-hand side, throws it about 15 yards down the field. And it's complete, but the guy got hammered. Is it good enough for a first down? And what concentration hanging on to that ball right there. Ryan Mullen.
That was Dylan Brooks putting on the hit.
Wow.
Wow, what a pop that was. But you know what? He got right back up and bounced back and got back in huddle.
That was one of those, if you put it in slow motion, you saw their cheeks wobble.
Yeah.
Handoff right up the middle. He's still going. He's got like 6 guys on him. He comes down at about the 20, just over the 20. Good run by number 20. He's getting busy. Vinny Smith.
Up the middle to the 20-yard line.
That was Walker Hughley, the defensive tackle on that stop.
Bring up 2nd down and 3.
Vinny Smith is a junior. He's 5'10", 185 pounds. And here comes Muckle over to the left-hand side, and he's got nowhere to go, and he goes down. There'll be a loss on the play of about 2.
And what do you know? Rodney Kincaid right up there.
Sorry about that. That was Connor Coghran. He's touched the ball more times than the referee has today.
Lose some yardage on the play.
Okay, so Garcia. He's the gentleman in command of the Wolves right now, 3rd and 6. Here comes the snap. They're in the shotgun formation. The wing T offense is what they call that, Dan. Wing T offense for Shasta. And Garcia with the call. Muckle in motion from the left to the right. Handoff is fake to the left. Pass right over the middle, and that's incomplete. Intended for number 2, Connor Coghran. That guy is involved.
What great coverage by Devon Schubert, number 24. Got his hand on the ball and knocked it down. Great defensive play.
Devin Schubert knocking that down.
That hurry-up offense, they're there, but it's nothing like it was compared to last year. When that ball was put down by the referee, within 5 seconds, here comes Muckle with a handoff over to the right-hand side. It's kind of like a sweep. He gains about 4 or 5 before he's brought down. I do not think that's going to be enough for a first down.
They're close enough. They'll go for it.
Michael Carnes from Boundary Waters, a proud sponsor of the Shasta Sports Network. They're at 907 Hartnell. They provide all the Surf Ninja gear that you see given away all over town, including the Colt 45 games. He's completely outfitted the Shasta Sports Network this season with our athletic gear, award-winning graphic artists on site, excellent customer service. I can attest for that. They do what they say what they're going to do when they say they're going to do it. They're reasonably priced, and their work.
First down, Cubs. Anderson Holtz takes over and downs.
Their work is excellent.
They did get a first down. He's got speed going around the right side. He's got speed going around the left side, but he's got some speed going up the middle, too.
Yep.
Muckle is just fast.
Yeah, I can't wait to see him break away because he's fun to watch. Reading Electric Utility is our community-owned electric utility. REU is very proud to give back to our community by supporting local youth sports programs. REU and you, powerful together. Dave Jackson was behind getting involved with the sports network this year. So, Dave, if you're listening tonight, thank you so much. We appreciate that. We're going to do every single game for Shasta College and Shasta High School this year. Next week we got a busy one. We'll talk about that here in a moment. Handoff up the middle. He gets about 2 yards before he's met by a whole line, and there might be a late hit on that. The flags are out, and the quarter has ended. So they'll assess that penalty.
Dylan Brooks, the ball carrier's penalty flag coming in on that.
That may have been a late hit or unnecessary roughness. I always like to see an unnecessary roughness call early in the season, because that means they're anxious. They're tense.
They're ready to play.
They are ready to play. So that will end the first quarter. Shasta leads 7-2. So we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back with you as we start the second quarter. Go ahead and roll something there, and we'll take a break.
Against the Wolves.
For over 50 years, Hild Collision Center is still family-owned and operated. It all started when Art Hild opened his first body shop in 1965. Today known as Hild Collision Center, the North State's most recommended full-service collision repair business. The Hild family is proud to continue business in this great community. Every year brings new changes in many forms, from new vehicle models, training and equipment, new technology in aluminum bodies and frames, computers, airbags, and Pearl Clear Coat paints. You can be assured that the team at Hild Collision Center are the best in class. The Hild Collision Center family would like to say thank you to the North Valley for trusting them with your collision repairs and allowing them to grow and support our community. Hild Collision Center on East Cypress Avenue in Reading. Online at hildcollisioncenter.com or find us on Facebook. Hild Collision Center, where you're always a satisfied customer.
Okay, we got one play off already on the first play of the second. Or no, they ran a. That was kind of different. They ran that last play and didn't count it as a quarter play because of the penalty. That's what that was all about. So the quarter is now officially ended. We'll stay with you here. Donnie Trotter is right in the thick of his team down there. And I can only imagine what Donnie's telling them right now. You guys are looking good. I know Donnie. I know how he talks. You guys are looking good, but you got to kick it up a notch. You got to kick it up. You got to kick out. You got to move. You got to drive somebody. Get low. Move them around. Love Donnie Trotter. He's been a great guy our whole life that we've known him. When we played baseball with him, he was primarily a great baseball player. And when he came up with a bat, people got nervous.
Oh, yeah.
Because
he's huge.
He was a hitter.
He's a huge guy, but you know what? He coaches this game with some intensity. And when we came here to their practice, it showed. That guy's got a lot of intensity, and he's got a lot of heart for this school here.
You know, I think back when we were in Little League together, age 12, so many years ago, and now I see him at age, I think he's a year or two behind me. I'm 53. He looks just like his dad.
Oh, he does?
His dad was a big dude. Donnie Trotter. Who doesn't love Donnie Trotter except for his ex-girlfriend from the 11th grade?
And you know what? He's got a great crew. Offensive coordinator Dan Gilbert and Mario Martinez is his defensive coordinator, and he's got a lot of trust in that first-year quarterback.
I also see Chris Woodward here from KNVN, KHSL. Action News Now, getting some footage.
Oh, fantastic.
Those guys are busy, man. They have them all over the place. I don't know how TJ Holmes covers everything that he covers. That guy's amazing. Just absolutely amazing. He gets it all. Handoff over to the right-hand side. Kind of a sweep sort of a situation. Gain of about 2 or 3 on that one.
Chris Hart, the ball carrier for the Cubs.
Chris Hart, the ball carrier.
And there again, Lane Bowman, number 88 on the defensive side, making the stop. He reminds me of Palamahu. He is everywhere on that field.
You know, one of the things that I noticed last year, and I commented on it, and I'll comment on it again, J.C. Hunsaker does a lot of hand signals. And you see him, he's all the way down here at the 35-yard line, and the ball is at the 35-yard line at the other end of the field. He coaches that way. He can get a different angle. He can see what's going on. He can see if people are handling their assignments. Here comes the pass. Right across midfield, flag is down. That's going to be pass interference.
That is.
Number 4, Seth White.
Pass incomplete, intended for Seth White. There's a penalty flag.
That is Ryan Dean, number 33.
Okay,
they're one of their star backfield guys.
Out there on the cover.
Ryan's really good. He's a senior this year, 5'10", 165. He was an all-star last year. He made one of the greatest interceptions I've ever seen in my life last year. Good guy.
Not only that, last year in the River Bowl, he made a forced fumble that was a huge play for Shasta last year in the River Bowl.
Okay, so that'll be a penalty against the Wolves. pass interference. They'll move the ball to the 49-yard line. The Cubs are in Shasta territory with 11:16 left to play. It's 7-2 Shasta. Second quarter, opening night at Bob Reed Stadium. Heisel hands it off. Off tackle, left-hand side. He gets past a couple of guys. A couple of helmets are knocked, and he goes down. He may have gained one.
Wow, what's some good penetration there by Alex Dodson, number 55. The outside linebacker just made his way through there.
Hit. Gain of 3. Bring up second down and 7.
They're tough. They're aggressive.
Look how close Dean plays up on the wide receiver. He's not afraid to take a man one-on-one.
Not only that, it's really good. If you can give a guy a shove in like the first 5 yards, that's legal to do. He's good at that. And he's got a lot of speed, and he's got a lot of quickness, and he can move. He can go. He's, omnidirectional. He can go either way and turn and pivot and get it. But he's about 8 yards off his receiver now. And there's the same pass, the exact same play, and
there
that
it
is
is.
Intercepted.
And that's Dean right there, one-on-one.
Ryan Dean with the interception.
I'll tell you what, Ryan Dean's numbers last year, 43 tackles, 2 interceptions, and that 1 forced fumble. He is one of Northern California's top defensive backs. And I'm going to expect a lot more from like that play right there from Dean because he is a star.
I think you're going to get it too.
Well, Dean and Matthews have been together in that backfield for a long time now, and they know how each other play.
Shasta up on the ball. They're right at their 25-yard line. Fake handoff up the middle. It goes around the outside to Coughlin, and he is still going. Got a couple of arm tackles. Arm tackles never work in this sport. He may have lost a yard by the time that was all done.
Cogren, the ball
Cogren,
carrier.
very busy guy tonight. He's had the ball in his hands many times. He's the one that scored the first touchdown for Shasta.
2 yards on the play.
See,
Second down and long. Brought down by Brandon Yearies. Initial make the stop.
And there he is again over the right-hand side. Same play, opposite direction. Went nowhere. That was Kyle Muckle.
Kyle Muckle, ball carrier that time. Seth White making the stop.
I'm telling you, I can't wait for the big Kyle Muckle play.
Gain of a couple.
It's coming.
That guy's fast.
It's coming. We need to make a highlight reel and start it right here tonight. Receivers out to the right. They got 2 guys in the slot, 1 in the backfield right now. Coughlin is in motion. Handoff goes right up the middle to number 28. He's met right at the line. Everybody stacked him up. He tried to go the other way, and he went nowhere. Diego Castaneda, the ball carrier.
That was a fantastic play for that defensive line. They just penetrated right through that offensive line and got to the ball carrier. I tell you who else I'm keeping an eye on is that number 21 of Tanner Smith out the cornerback position, defensive back. He plays his man tight too. One-on-one. Not afraid to go one-on-one.
So it's going to be 4th down and 15 to go. There'll be a punting situation. Anderson's already got a guy back. Hard to see their numbers from here.
Yeah, but look at Mario Martinez, the defensive coordinator, is kind of dancing down there. He was happy about that last play.
Oh, yeah. He'll do a few miles on the treadmill before the night's over, too. Okay, so here comes the snap. They're going to flare out to the right-hand side. Terrible kick. Squabbly barely got over the line of scrimmage. It's across midfield and down to about the 47. One of the Cubs falls on it right there, and that'll be a dead ball. That'll be number 13 who fell on the ball. It looked like 13.
It is number 13.
They don't have him on the roster.
Kick is down at
We'll rely on our announcer.
47-yard line. It'll be Anderson's ball. First and
10 for Anderson.
We have penalty flag back at the line. Illegal procedure against the Wolves.
Uh-oh.
That'll cost them a handful.
They might make it. No, they're not going to make them kick it again.
The ball is placed at the Shasta 49. I'm sorry, the Cubs 49-yard line, just about midfield right now. Chain gang's doing their best to try to keep up.
Penalty will
They'll
be
burn some
declined.
calories in that chain gang tonight.
First and 10 Anderson. Ball at their own 49.
Heisel back to pass, straight drop, throws it out to the left-hand side, and wow, that was it was deflected by number 54. He fell on it, tried to put on a Meryl Streep act that he intercepted it.
Once
Referees
again,
are not
Troy
going
Lyons.
for that. Troy Lyons.
Troy Lyons, number 54. He has just been a monster this first half. Lyons been all over that field. for the defense. But once again, keep your eye on Dean here. He's closest to us.
Yeah,
Number 33.
He's got a lot of experience with this Shasta football club and what J.C. Hunsaker expects out of him, and he will rise to the occasion.
He can keep 33 and 41 back there because they know how to play off each other, and they know how to pick up the signals quickly.
They do, and now it's kind of nice that we're into the second quarter, so people are starting to loosen up. Timeout for Anderson. They'll take a timeout with 8:20 left to play. 7-2, Shasta leads. Second quarter, 8:20 left to play. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Lighting has been lighting up Reading for over 45 years. They have an amazing showroom displaying the latest in designs and styles, a dedicated staff providing superior customer service, and the most affordable pricing in town. Biggins Lighting is your one-stop shop for lighting, fans, fixtures, bulbs, and more. Looking for that special deal? Check in regularly for discounted and blowout items and ask about their internet price matching. Biggins Lighting, located on Pine Street just up the road from Lulu's in downtown Reading. Biggins, lighting up Reading for over 45 years.
Do you ever wonder what happens to your vehicle behind the scenes at an auto body collision repair facility? Wonder no more. Go to HilldCollisionCenter.com and watch a virtual tour of the North Valley's finest and most recommended collision repair business. HilldCollisionCenter.com.
Okay, we are back here, Bob Reed Stadium. It's the second period, 8:20 left to play. Shasta leads 7-2. It's opening night high school football. Boy, we've been waiting a long time for this. Talking to Hunsaker, I asked him, I said, doesn't it seem like the offseason has been way too long? And he said, yes, it has.
He's been waiting for this, Gary. He's been eager.
And in motion, handoff goes right up the middle. Not much of a gain, if any, right there. I believe that might have been Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks right up the
It
middle.
was.
Number 53. He's not on the roster, but I tell you what, he got some great penetration through that offensive
Third
line.
down for the Cubs.
What they normally do, they had all the teams have a photo shoot every preseason. They have a photo shoot, and they all go and do pictures, and they take all their stuff, and they make a really nice program for all the schools.
Yes.
It's glossy, it's nice. All the rosters of all the teams in the divisions are in there. It's very helpful to us.
So Shasta looks to be another tough competitor this year for their division.
Yeah, I've got a couple of flags down on the play. We'll get that call here in a second. One of the things that I really like about Shasta is their referees are mic'd up.
Yes. So when they're at Thompson's Field, we can hear the call.
Yeah, it's nice. Oh, personal foul against Shasta.
Yeah. Personal foul against the Wolves.
You know, and you know this already. One of the guys that you always want to keep your eye on is the referee in the white hat. He's the boss.
He is the boss. He's the main man out there. Tony, doesn't this bring you back to high school football days?
Oh, it sure does, Dan. I'm enjoying this.
I had a great football season my senior year. I mean, I blocked a few punts, ran a few back for touchdowns, and I was slow, too. I remember playing up against Fall River. We're going to be doing the Bernie Fall River game next week.
Wednesday
night, the Fair Bowl up in MacArthur. Bernie Falls is in the area. That's my whole stomping grounds. Okay, fake draw, hands it off up the middle, down to the 27. Not much of a gain, but he picked up a few.
Dylan Brooks up the middle.
Dylan Brooks getting a little action tonight.
Well, that was a beautiful hit again for Dotson. Alex Dotson put a nice hit on him and just stopped him cold.
Actually, 27-yard line. We'll probably gain a 3, bring up second down and 7.
I always like those hits when you leave a mark on your helmet.
Oh, yeah. I tell you, Ramage has got this defense playing some good ball. They are tough.
You still see it out there when you do some neat things in school. They give you a little sticker to put on your helmet if you have a good game or something. I think I had 37 skull and crossbones on my helmet when I was playing. Wow. Handoff goes over to the left-hand side, and a little bit of a gain right there down to about the 22-yard line.
Brooks, the ball carrier
and that was number 41, Latravian Matthews on the stop there.
That's a tough name to get through. I struggled with it a little bit last year.
Third down and about 3.
And there was another guy named, what was his name? His name,
Diego Castaneda.
correct me if I'm wrong, Vishal Vittel?
Vishal?
Yeah,
Vittel?
And I did it in the highlight reel. I said, what a great football name, Vishal Vittel. He was fun to watch, too. Okay, Heisel, right up over center. Kneel down, knees bent, handoff right up the middle. He's met by the whole defensive line. A little bit of a scuffle over on the right-hand side, but they get out of that quickly. Players are moving slow off that field. getting up off the ground.
Well, they're getting hit on that defensive line, and that's all starts with number 58 there. That's the Cush man, Larry Cush.
Lane Bowman, number 88, got a little small, short ankle injury. He's sort of limping, and he's headed off the field right now. He'll move under his own power.
Oh, Shasta can't afford to lose him. He's been all over that defensive field tonight.
All right, we'll see what Heisel's got. They're at the 21, 22-yard line. Handoff again right up the middle. He's hit immediately, hard hit. A lot of pileups right in the center of the field right there. No gain.
And that was number 9 leading the way. That was Corbin Muckle. Must be relation to Kyle Muckle.
That was enough for the first down. Plenty for the first down. So Anderson now threatening to strike here again. They're right at the red zone line, 20-yard line. Anderson first and 10, 5:41 left to play in the first half.
Well, I'll tell you what, Gary, I am really impressed with Cush's performance so far on defense. He has been the core for that defensive line.
Yeah, I think everybody's doing really good for the first game out. The Nerves, oh, what a big hole that was right off the middle. Off tackle, left-hand side.
To about the 15-yard line.
That was a good gain, 4 or 5.
Gain of about 5 yards. Bring up second down and 5.
And that's Matthew on the stops, number 41 for the defensive side of Shasta.
Octavian Matthews making the stop for the Wolves.
Okay, so it'll be 2nd and 6, 5 minutes left to play, first half.
That announcer just gave us the pronounced name,
Yeah.
Ratravian.
I believe it's Ratavian. Oh, the hole opened up for a fraction of a second. He got a knee through it, and that's about all he could get.
And number 41,
Dylan
Matthews
Brooks ball carrier
again
right up the middle.
on the stop for Shasta.
Gain of about 4. Bring up third down and a yard.
Well, I tell you what, Gary, I'm really excited for
1-yard
this
line.
season of football. It has been a long time coming. Sometimes I just don't know what to do with myself when football's not on.
Well, I know you're one of the
Gracie
biggest
making the
football
stop.
fans I know. You know pretty much everything. I could ask you anything and you would know it. It's nice to have you at a little bit of a disadvantage with high school because you follow college, you follow professional.
Yes,
high
I
school,
do.
High school is a whole new ball game, so we'll train you right. Heisel again up the middle. They're running the ball. Off tackle, left-hand side. That's going to be enough for a first down.
The 10-yard
That was
line.
number 10,
About
Rodney
the
Kincaid.
7.
That's that smash
First
mouth
down Cubs.
football back in Anderson, running it right down their throats. And that's the old school
First and
football
goal,
of Bob
ball,
Reed.
7-yard
It is.
line.
I do love
Corbin
football.
Muckle
I mean,
making the stop
that
for
was
the
me
Wolves.
and my dad's Sunday church. Football. Let's get up in the morning, let's have coffee, let's have our breakfast, and let's watch Jimmy the Greek.
Oh, I watched ping pong. Remember the old, what was the Atari game?
The Atari games.
What was it called?
Atari.
I know, but what was the game? Pong.
Pong.
Yeah, Pong.
Pong.
Don't
You know,
forget, go get
I came
yourself
from
a
the
hot
old school of
tri-tip
Pac-Man,
sandwich
right?
sold by the Anderson
And
Pizza Farmers
Defender,
America, just
Centipede, all those
inside
good
the main
games. Now I don't even understand the games that they have out
Also,
there.
concession
Oh,
stand located
I do
north
still
of the
like
field. All
pinball, though.
proceeds benefit
Pinball's fun.
Pinball is
boosters
fun.
program here at Anderson High
Pinball's
School,
fun anywhere you go.
as well as shaved ice.
Were you a pinball wizard, Gary?
I might be.
Volleyball program.
I wasn't really good at it, but, you know, when you got that action, you used to see guys play pinball, and they'd get into it, and they'd shake the machine a little bit. I would always try to do that. Tilt. Every time.
Well, you were a big guy, too.
I wasn't in high school. I was only 5'7" until I was a senior. A little guy. 6'2", 210 high school. Senior year. Had a great
6'2",
year.
210 pounds.
I was a defensive end, and I had
yeah.
one of the greatest coaches that
I know
ever
about
had.
that defensive end,
Yeah.
especially up in Bernie.
Gene Pacini was my coach up there in Bernie, and Ron Conley. We'll see him next week.
Oh,
Up
fantastic.
there in Fall River. My old stomping grounds. Looking forward to it. Heisel up over center. He's got a man in motion from the right to the left, and he'll go another run right off tackle to the left-hand side, just over the 5 down, possibly to the 4-yard line.
Dylan Brooks just inside the 5-yard line. Second down and goal. Just inside the 5-yard line.
So, Gary, you were talking about the Fair Bowl. That must mean the Shasta County Fair is coming up.
Yeah, the MacArthur Bernie Fall or
Ladies and
Bernie
gentlemen, we'd like to
Bernie
thank the
MacArthur
Anderson High School Ag Mechanics
Fall River
team
Fair
for
is going
the
on,
football field,
and
as well as the
Fall River
Anderson High
is
School
it's their
maintenance
year to
crew,
host
staff,
that game between the two,
outstanding
and
job.
the fairgrounds is literally from me to the quarterback right now, so it's going to be a good football game. It's my alma mater. I played there when I was a senior. And I'll see a lot of my old friends that I haven't seen in many, many years, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time.
It's going to be a road trip.
Yeah, road trip.
And then next Friday,
I believe we go to Red Bluff with Shasta. I'm not quite sure. I think that's what it is. And then as soon as that game's over, we pack it up and we head down to Coalinga.
For the first game.
First game for Shasta College. They are Pacific 7 champions for the season last year. They won a bowl game. They beat West Hills, who they'll play next week in that game, and they pretty much annihilated them. So, West Hills is looking to get something back. Handoff goes right up the middle again. Heisel almost lost the ball when he handed it off. A lot of shucking and jiving going down there on that defensive line. They're doing a good job.
He's forward for about a yard. Bring up 4th down.
4th and 1 at the
Just
2.
inside the 2-yard line.
I don't know. What do you think? I'd go for it.
I think they're going to go for it, Gary, because then they got them pinned back. You got to go for it. You have to go for it. You're down by 5, 2:23 left in the second quarter. You got to go for it.
What are you going to do, punt? You put it in the snack bar.
Yeah.
You put it over there in Miss Little's class over there, room 543 in the campus.
I'm kind of curious if he's actually going to go for a field goal here and only be down by 2. So he took a timeout. He's going to think about it.
Well, knowing Donnie like I know him, he's not gonna do a field goal here.
No, he's going to smash mouth it right up their throat.
Donnie is a go for it guy.
Yes.
All the way as a go for it guy. And he's putting together. We'll take a quick break while they're having a timeout, and we will be right back. It's the Shasta Sports Network on XS Sports 96.1.
You can now see before and after pictures at HillCollisionCenter.com. Professional grade repairs and satisfied customer reviews. Watch a free virtual tour of Hill Collision Center's state-of-the-art facility. See it online at HillCollisionCenter.com.
Back here at Bob Reed Stadium, Anderson, the Cubs holding their own. They're only down by 5 points right now in the first quarter. They are looking like worlds apart from what they looked like towards the end of the season last year. And that's really impressive to see. Love that. Donnie's got to be really happy with that. He's going to have a good weekend. Okay, so they're lining up on the ball right now. Reading Electric Utility. RU, our community-owned electric utility. Did you know that RU offers free residential energy audits? They do. For more information, call RU at 339-7200 or visit REUpower.com. There's the handoff, and it goes.
Touchdown, Cubs!
Yeah, I love it. I just let their announcer call it.
Smash Mouth football is back in Anderson.
Love the crowd, love the band. There is nothing like a high school band or a college band all dressed out in their gear. Anderson High School is famous for their high school band. Foothill is too, with Mitch Barr at the helm out there. Shasta's got a great band too.
I tell you what, he went right down the center. He bounced off twice, went around the right side, and snuck it in there. What a great tough run.
Set to go for the extra point, Manny Gomez. And that kick is blocked. Kind of a terrible hole. The ball almost fell off the tee there.
So Corbin Muckle.
Not successful with the extra point, but that puts Anderson in the lead, 8-7 with 2:02 to play in the first half.
What a fantastic run. That was just right up the gut, in your face, and just go for it. You're right. Trotter didn't elect to kick the field goal. He elected to go for it.
I know him. He's going to go for it every single time.
Now, would Bob Reed have gone for it?
Bob would have gone for it. Bob would have let the water boy run it through. That's how tough the water boy was here at Anderson back then. Oh, the Shasta Sports Network is on the air finally after a year of preparation. It's presented to you by Omega Mortgage, Dan Landis and company over there. 223-1400. Give them a call if you want to do a refinance, you want to buy a house, you want to do anything financing with related to mortgage and stuff like that. These guys are the experts. They handled a piece of business for me. I've done some really home improvements. My life is a lot different right now thanks to Omega Mortgage.
Your house is looking good on the inside, and your backyard is looking fantastic. I'll tell you what, Gary.
It better be looking good when I get home, honey. That's a hint. Tony Hord's with us. He's got Tony Hord
Manny
Photography.
Gomez will kick off
Daniel
the
Miller's with us.
Connor
Their
Conrad,
significant others
Seth
are at
Parker.
my house with my wife, and they say that they're listening to us, but they're out on the patio drinking wine with their feet in the pool.
I would be too.
I would be too. That was a little squib kick. Briefly touched there for a second. Pick back up, and he's got running room, and that's number 22. He's down to the 40. He cuts back into the left-hand side, finally brought down at the 35. Big return for Shasta. And that was Manny Carrillo.
What a great run by Manny.
Carrillo
Marino, sorry.
with the run back all the way into Cub territory to the 35-yard line. It'll be a first down for the Wolves.
They
Ball
got
at the
good
Anderson
field
35.
position here, so now Anderson's going to have to put on the pressure and do a little bit of blitzing if they're going to hold this lead, Gary.
Okay, so now we will see Brian Kilgore at quarterback. Number 4. I got 5 guys down, 2 wide receivers, 1 to the left, 1 to the right, man in motion. They'll hand it off over to the right-hand side, and that's Kyle Muckle. Kyle Muckle will get a couple before he's driven out of bounds. At about the 21-yard line, Muckle with a first
Kyle
down.
Muckle, the ball carrier.
Anderson, they had a couple grips
gets
on
to
him
the
coming around the
21-yard
right side
line,
there,
first down.
and they lost that grip. They
Devin
need to
Schubert
make
making
those
the stop
tackles
for
if
the
they're going to
Cubs.
hold this lead.
8-7, close ball game.
Minute 45 left in the second quarter.
Handoff left-hand side, goes nowhere. May have lost a couple on that one.
That was a great
Connor
penetration through the defense, through the offensive line there.
Ball carrier. He'll lose a couple on the play, bring up second down.
I got an unknown name text that says you guys are on. Or I sent one to an unknown name, something like that. Pass deep into the end zone. Incomplete. First time we've seen him pass like that.
I thought there were going to be a little bit more passing of an offense this year after losing their star running back last year, but
Kilgore's
they're
passing
picking up right where they
complete.
left off.
Well, they lost Kyle
Suited to
Catanese
Kyle
last
Muckle.
year, who had just a remarkable
Number 13.
year. He is on the Shasta College squad. He was out there, and so is Justin Hellier, who came from Shasta last year. Justin Hellier was not dressed out for the scrimmage yesterday, but he's another one like Kyle Muckle. Fast, exciting, moving. There's the handoff right up the middle. They're still trying to bring him down. They finally do, close to the first down marker, right about the 10-yard line, maybe the 11.
Diego
Castaneda.
ball carrier.
Right through the center
Look at-
there. They had
And
a
now-
nice open hole.
So you'll
short,
notice
fourth
that their
down, 80
offense
yards.
is starting to pick up the pace a little bit.
Seth White making the stop.
That
for
hurry-up
Cubs.
offense was nowhere near what it was last year. Handoff again, off tackle, nowhere to go, and he goes down right away.
What great penetration there. That's number 5. That's Heisel coming right through the center there.
Ryan
Heisel
Heisel making
is
the
working
stop
on both sides
Diego
of the football
Castaneda.
tonight.
Yes, he is.
That'll wear a man out.
Anderson holds, takes over and down. First down, Cubs.
Yeah.
Trotter
Ball at their own 13-yard
plays
line.
a lot of his players on both sides.
Yes, he does.
I mean, he has Kincaid playing offense and defense, and he has Heisel playing offense and defense. But he makes a lot of substitutes on this because it can get tiring.
That's a good thing. When I went to Anderson, West Valley was not created yet.
Okay.
So when I think it was I was a junior or senior or something, that they split off and West Valley opened. They lost a lot of their good players in this area because they went down to West Valley. But they've been able to build it back up. But I really believe that it has a lot to do, not just with players, but coaching has everything to do with it.
It all starts with coaching.
There's a whistle on the play. Don't see a flag, but they're respotting the ball. It's right about the 14-yard line.
And it all starts with the head coach in believing in your players, and that's what Trotter brings to this. He believes in his players.
I think what they're doing here, Heisel took a knee on that one to run the clock down. There's only 26 seconds left to play in the first half, and they may just run it down and call it good. They got to be really pleased with their performance here tonight. Anderson leads 8-7, halftime in 15 seconds.
Takes a knee.
And that'll run out the first half here at Bob Reed Stadium.
Shasta
Count
7.
down to 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2 and 1. And we will take a little bit of a break, and then Daniel and I and Tony Horde will be back to give you our analysis of the first half and a little look into the second half. We'll play some highlight reel for you from last year's Shasta football team if we get time to do that. So it's a great game. I wasn't expecting this. TJ Holmes said it's not going to be that good of a game. That's why I'm doing Foothill and West Valley. But I'm going to be happy to report to TJ that this is a game worth watching.
This is a close game, and hopefully we'll have some highlights of or some scores of some other games that are going on tonight.
It's halftime here in Anderson. The Cubs and the Wolves. Cubs lead 8-7. We'll be back in a moment on the Shasta Sports Network on XS Sports 96.1 FM.
For over 50 years, Hild Collision Center is still family-owned and operated. It all started when Art Hild opened his first body shop in 1965. Today known as Hild Collision Center, the North State's most recommended full-service collision repair business. The Hild family is proud to continue business in this great community. Every year brings new changes in many forms, from new vehicle models, training and equipment, new technology in aluminum bodies and frames, computers, airbags, and Pearl Clear Coat paints. You can be assured that the team at Hild Collision Center are the best in class. The Hild Collision Center family would like to say thank you to the North Valley for trusting them with your collision repairs and allowing them to grow and support our community. Hild Collision Center on East Cypress Avenue in Reading. Online at hildcollisioncenter.com or find us on Facebook. Hild Collision Center, where you're always a satisfied customer.
It's no surprise Biggins Lighting has been lighting up Reading for over 45 years. They have an amazing showroom displaying the latest in designs and styles, a dedicated staff providing superior customer service, and the most affordable pricing in town. Biggins Lighting is your one-stop shop for lighting, fans, fixtures, bulbs, and more. Looking for that special deal? Check in regularly for discounted and blowout items and ask about their internet price matching. Biggins Lighting, located on Pine Street just up the road from Lulu's in downtown Reading. Biggins, lighting up Reading for over 45 years.
Blitz is defined as a sudden, savage attack. It is indeed all this. The theory is simple. Get the quarterback.
Here's a little highlight reel that we made for Shasta High School last year. They played this for the players when they went into the playoff game at the end of the season. We put a highlight reel together. This is some highlights from the 2015 season of the Shasta Wolves. Enjoy.
Across the line, touchdown Shasta. Want a piece of that championship? Put it in here.
Football is a rough game and often a cruel one.
Every time you lose, you die a little bit. You die inside, a portion of you. Not all of your organs, maybe just your liver.
You know, we talked a little bit about J.C. Hunsaker, the coach, and him coming in here for this first year. He has changed the entire culture of this Shasta football club, and it's been very impressive.
There's a vast array of which you could choose from. We do a weekly word every week, and in terms of our new opponent this week, it's pride, and how we define it. We use it on how we've used it to the point in the season, how we want to use it this week. We've also established our 3 rules in our program way back in February when I got the job, and that's number 1, always do the right thing. Number 2, put your teammates first. Number 3, hold yourself accountable. And those are things that we always rest upon. Hey, in this situation, are you putting your teammates first? No, then motivate yourself more. You know, when you are thinking of everybody else before you're thinking of yourself, that's when everything clicks, and not just you as an individual. So it's things that we've preached about way more than just X's and O's, like you said. It's situations that you put them in. We want them to be successful after high school football. And if we can do that, through the game of football, then we're doing our jobs, and that's what we love about seeing our kids grow.
Handoff goes right up the middle to Justin Hellier, and nobody touched him. Touchdown Shasta. Off to Kyle Muckle, and he's got lots of room. He's down to the 30. He cuts it back to the right, and he's finally brought down at the 21-yard line. Handoff to Muckle over to the right-hand side. He's got a little bit of running room. Look out. He'll cut into the inside. Now he's got more room. He's one guy to beat, and he's not going to do it, but he's across midfield down to the 48-yard line. Kyle Muckle, big run. Handoff is faked to Alfaro and handed off to McMillan, and he's hammered immediately by number 25. Bashel Patel, the defensive end there. What a great football name, Bashel Patel. Back to pass, looking all the way down to the end zone. He's got a guy wide open, and it's intercepted in the end zone. What a play. Ryan Dean with the interception in the end zone. Kennedy set to take the snap. His quick pitch over to Hillier on the right-hand side. He's got a little bit of a running room, and he's still on his feet across the 40 and down at the 42. Nice run.
It's just the first guy never seems to get him down.
Not with this Kyle Muckle guy. He can move, and he can juke, and he can span, and he can just jump over the top of it. He takes it right out to midfield, ball right at the 50. Justin Hillier, nowhere to go in the middle, so he'll go to the outside. He's got a little bit of room. He gets that around the corner. Down to the 30, finally brought down at the 29. What a great effort by Justin Hillier on the move. And another first down for Shasta. Right over the middle. Intended in the end zone. And that was a spectacular catch.
Perfect throw by Catanese over the shoulder to Muckle.
Catanese keeps it himself. He's looking to pass right over the middle. He's got a guy wide open, and that's no problem at all. Kellen McDonald, and he's still running. 40, 35, he's down to the 30, jumps over for a guy, brought down at the 26-yard line. Good gain for Shasta. Muckle will take it across the goal line. Touchdown, Shasta. Casey Lowe is the gentleman who made the key block to make that score, and that was impressive, and that made it easy for Muckle to go across and score another 6. There's the snap, and he's going to roll out to the left-hand side, got a little trouble, throws deep downfield, got a guy wide open, and that is 31. Dalton Hunter complete at the 8-yard line. Hunter down to the 15 and the 10, and he's finally brought down at about the 7 or 8-yard line.
Beautiful run by Dalton Hunter. He's been a part of the passing game tonight.
There's the kick, and Hillier might get a chance to run this one back. He does. He'll take it up at the 35, and he'll take it out to the 40. He's beat one guy, 2 guys. Now there's a flag on the play. There's a second flag on the play. Hillier still moving. He's across midfield down to the 45 and 40. He's back and forth, and now he's got a guy wrapped around his leg. He gets around him, and now he finally goes down. And he's got a great catch by number 4, Kellen McDonald. That was concentration. Great reception. There's the snap. Justin Hillier would take it easily over to the goal line. Touchdown, Shasta. 3:05 left to play. There's the cannon. Catanese on the ball. Fakes it to Hillier. Throws it deep over to the left-hand side. He's got a guy down to 7. And he's down at the 1-yard line. And that'll be Josh Wood on the reception. And he hands it off to Hillier. Hillier penetrates the goal line. And that is a touchdown, Shasta.
Extremely pleased. It's a different concept that we asked them to buy into from the beginning in terms of how hard we need to work. And they bought into it. They love it now. It's just a great overall feel all over the campus in terms of the success that we've had football-wise, football level.
Okay, we're back here at the Anderson Cup Stadium, Bob Reed Stadium. Got an update for you for the West Valley. They lead Foothill 14-0 after the no first downs for the Cougars. Trent Banner, who I believe was the number 2 rated player in the league in the early going from TJ Holmes, he's their quarterback. He is only 2 for 7 with 7 yards. So West Valley's putting it on him.
Hey, it's 21-7, Enterprise over Corning right now.
Nice, Enterprise starting off good with their new coach. We've got to welcome him to the community.
And they have a tight game over there in Red Bluff. It is 8-6, favor of Paradise right now.
All right, we're going to be doing a Paradise game on October 14th. Shasta will go down there. We'll spend the night at Brother Bill's house and sit up by the campfire and have a good time. The Shasta Sports Network is presented by Omega Mortgage. It's also brought to us in part by Shasta Solutions that work for you, the brainchild behind the technology on the broadcast tonight and every night this season. Tyler Whitlow, he's been instrumental in putting everything together, all the way from the equipment to the software to the setup to the configuration. He's amazing, and he's right there at the ready for you. I had an issue the other day at a test, and I just sent him a text, and I didn't even know if he was listening. I asked him a question, and I said, I can hear the microphones, but I cannot hear the music. And he writes back instantly, I'm already on it. And he had it fixed within 3 or 4 minutes.
Oh, yeah. He was so quick. And like you said, you didn't even ask him to listen. We had a few issues, but that's why we do those tests.
Tyler's a real pro, and that's why we're associated with him, because for a lot of reasons, really. Number one, for his expertise. Number two, he's a very kind person. And, Omega Mortgage, he works inside that building with his business, and Omega, their business. He does all their technical and IT and some marketing stuff and some social media stuff. He's all over the place, handles some things for the city of Reading. He's very involved. He's a family man. He's got some beautiful children, little boys, and we love him. So, Tyler, thank you for your part in the Shasta Sports Network.
He's also involved in the Chamber of Commerce because
Yes,
he's
he
a
is.
really good friend of Mr. Jake Mangus.
I know they did a really neat video the other day.
I saw that.
I'm trying to figure out if he was like on a hoverboard or he was on a skateboard. I don't know what he was on.
I don't know what he was on either. I looked at it over and over again. I just could not figure. Tyler, hey, give us a text or something. Let us know what you were on there, buddy.
Jake was cruising down in, I think it was a golf cart, and Tyler was right on his side, and he was looking like he was like on a surfboard or something, had a real happy smile, and they played this little twinky-dink music that just brought the whole piece together. He's very creative. I love it.
That was fantastic. And Jake, I've known Jake Mangus since he was a young kid who attended Shasta High School too.
That's right.
And he has taken over a role for the Chamber of Commerce that he's doing a great thing.
He's the perfect man for that job. The city of Reading is they do some really good things, and now that he is involved, not that Strazzarino wasn't awesome, he really was.
Yes.
But we got some. I don't want to make this sound improper, but we've got a younger generation in there now operating the Chamber of Commerce. And they've all done great for so many years, but Jake is in the right spot, and I'm sure the city of Reading agrees with that.
Oh, yes. Jake is a fantastic guy. And, the Shasta Sports Network is really a great thing that's taken off here, Gary, and it's going to get bigger and bigger.
Well, we think so, too. And we're very pleased that our friends at Hill Collision Center are on board. They're going to be bringing you every week the player of the game. Hill Collision Center proudly supports local athletes and presents the player of the game each night during game time. Each player will be highlighted, and a special end-of-the-year award presentation will take place, and Hill Collision Center will make a contribution back to the Shasta football program. Hill gives back. If you've never seen their facility, they're at 1579 East Cypress Avenue. You can give them a call at 222-6828. Go online to their website, hillcollisioncenter.com. Watch the video that they recently made on their facility. It's absolutely outrageous, and they're real pros. I mean, that is the true definition of professional grade.
The hoverboard.
Yeah.
The hoverboard.
The hoverboard.
Hovercraft. So, Gary, you and I talked earlier. We are going to pick who we think the player of the game is at this game.
That's right.
And we're going to choose who that guy is, and hopefully at the end of the year we'll have our presentation to them.
We will. It's going to be really cool. And so far in the running for player of the game, I know it's a little bit early to speculate, but I'm going to do it anyway. And that's going to be senior number 2 of Connor Colgren. He's been very busy. He's touched the ball about 8 or 9 times. He's already scored 1 touchdown. So he's who I got my eye on. But I'm telling you what, we've got an interception already from Ryan Dean.
Yep.
It's still another half to go. And I still haven't seen the big play from Kyle Muckle. I know it's coming.
Muckle's going to come, and you know what? There's been a lot of hard hits by number 41, and that's Matthews. Matthews has been tough on defense, and he is picking up where he left off.
Yep, we're getting ready to start the second half here in about 2 minutes. If you need professional screen printing, embroidery, and banners, there's one place to go, and that is Boundary Waters. They are so good. They're home of the Surf Ninja. They have award-winning graphic artists on site. I misspelled that. I wrote award-winning graphic artist on site, and I think Michael's wife would probably agree with that at a certain degree. I'm just having fun with you, Michael. We appreciate it. We're wearing your gear right now. You do excellent work. Your banners are hanging and looking good here. You can find them on Facebook. They do custom design services, teams, businesses, schools, events. Go to Boundary Waters
We have
Inc.
a winner
And
on
that's
the Cubby.
Boundary Waters INK. .com. Michael Carnes and company at Boundary Waters. Trevor Dugan is also one of the employees over there, and you're going to have to miss a football game or 2 later on in the season, and Trevor's going to step in and do the game with us, and he wanted to do the game here tonight because he's an Anderson boy, but I'd already committed to you, and we'll have him back with us sometime later on in the season, and he knows the game better than anybody. He's involved in the junior football, junior Cubs, and when you and I were kids, it was known as Pop Warner football. Yeah, Pop Warner. Now it's the Junior Cubs or the Junior Eagles or the Junior whoever they are. And It's a great program. It always was. We love
Warner
it.
football actually came from a coach named Pop Warner who coached Mr. Jim Thorpe.
Wow, that's a good story.
Yes.
That's one of those football stories that you pull out of your hat.
Jim Thorpe actually started the Pop Warner football program.
Like that. Reading Electric Utility REU is our community-owned electric utility. Love those folks. Did you know that REU offers many different rebates for energy efficiency upgrades? Check REU out on Facebook or at reupower.com. REU and you, powerful together. Proud sponsor of the Shasta Sports Network. Hello to Dave Jackson. Appreciate your support for the local athletes and the network. Things are working great. Happy to have you aboard. Got some updates there?
I got some more updates. Pleasant Valley 14-0 over Yuba City.
Oh, yeah.
Roseville and Chico are dead tied at 0-0 still. And
I'll tell you
Palma
what.
is losing to Sutter right now, 28-17, but it's a close game.
We went down and did the playoff game at Pleasant Valley when Shasta went down there and got beat last year. And I looked out at that field and I went, oh, my goodness, those guys look like college players. They're big boys down there.
And Pleasant Valley has brought a couple of good players to the NFL.
Yep, they'll be coming to the Shasta-Thompson Field later on this season. We're looking forward to that football game. And the River Bowl is going to be at Thompson Field this year. Here's the story on here's the beginning story on how the Shasta Sports Network came about. I'm gonna have to come back and do that for you a little bit later because we're getting ready for the second half kickoff. Shasta will be kicking off to Anderson. They'll be kicking from our left to our right. Anderson will be moving. Rodney Kincaid, Dylan Brooks back deep. Ryan Dean do the kickoff. And he kicks it over to the right-hand side. Not too great of a kick, but, it's fumbled right on the touch. It's fumbled, and there's a big scrum right down there at the 30-yard line. We'll find out in a second who comes up with it at the bottom of the pile. They're uncovering them right now. Second half underway. Shasta says they have it, and they do.
Shasta's ball. Number 19 got it.
And that's how you want to start the second half. Number 19, Cole Ryan Jr., 5'11", 185 pounds. He was at the bottom of that scrum, and he came out on top with the ball in his hand.
I got Kenyon Riley, number 19.
Oh, boy.
Picking that.
Oh, you're right.
He hustled down there.
You're right. I misread it.
That's fine.
I'll be the first person to admit mistake. I learn every time I do a game. So here we go. Garcia takes the snap, hands it off to the right-hand side. A little stutter step by Kyle Muckle. He's brought down immediately by number 44. Wasted absolutely no time. Jarrett Kingston. Jarrett Kingston is listed, Danny, as number 52 and number 44. So I wonder if they don't have a blue 44 when they go, or a white 44 when they go on the road. Who knows? We'll find out.
55.
Handoff up the middle. They're met immediately by a very tough defensive line. Castaneda, the ball carrier.
If Martinez, the defensive coordinator for Anderson, can keep this pressure up and stop Shasta, they might have a chance here. They're only leading by one. They got to hold a strong defense here.
Ball carrier number 28, some tough yard gains right there. They got about 6 or 7, but he earned every step, every yard. Castaneda, Diego, the ball carrier.
Up the middle, he get close to the 20.
That was Tyler Brooks on the stop there.
A yard short.
West Valley leads Foothill 14-7 at halftime. Paradise leads Red Bluff 8-6. We'll send out a tweet to TJ Holmes right now and give him an update on our game.
TJ is basically our stats man. That guy is all over the place.
And it's not that he just picks them up online or other avenues. He does, but the guy's an encyclopedia of numbers. And we sat down with him yesterday, and he just started rolling off some stuff. Like, how would you know all those numbers?
Oh, yeah.
He knew them all. He knew stats from guys last year. I went to school with a guy here at Anderson that was very much like that, and anybody who's from Anderson who's listening knows that Paul Mahan was the wizard at statistics. Primarily with baseball. He knew professional baseball like professional football.
Oh, okay.
Paul Mahan, he's the guy.
Reading Christian 32 over Princeton 14. That is a final. Reading Christian getting a win. Willows 21, Durham 7. Fourth down and 1, Gary. I think Shasta's going to try to go for it here.
Well, they should. They're at the 25-yard line. They've got plenty of guys that could just fall over the line and pick up that 1 yard. We'll see right here. Handoff goes up the middle. They'll get that first down and much more. About 6 more yards. That'll be a first down. Number 28, Castaneda again, the ball carrier.
Castaneda inside the 15. Down to about the 13-yard line. It'll be a first down for the Wolves. Dylan Brooks making the stop.
That linebacker core has to get in there more if they're going to get stops like that.
Ball carrier is Coughlin. He's going all the way across the goal line. That'll be a touchdown, Shasta.
Touchdown Wolves. Connor Coughlin.
Look at that. Coughlin, 2 touchdowns tonight. He's our leading runner right now. The first one was on a swing pass over to the left-hand side down into the end zone. This one is a run right up the middle. Coughlin's got some really good balance.
And half of that was because everybody moved to the left side because they had Muckle going to the left.
Set to go for the extra point. There's the snap, the placement. The kick is down. It's up, and it is good. And that's going to change the scoreboard. 14-8, favor of Shasta with 10:17 left to go in the third period. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back at the Shasta Sports Network on XS Sports 96.1 FM.
When you choose Hild Collision Center, you have the option to receive text or email updates as your vehicle goes through the collision restoration process. Read customer reviews and see before and after photos online at hildcollisioncenter.com.
It's no surprise Biggins Lighting has been lighting up Reading for over 45 years. They have an amazing showroom displaying the latest in designs and styles, a dedicated staff providing superior customer service, and the most affordable pricing in town. Biggins Lighting is your one-stop shop for lighting, fans, fixtures, bulbs, and more. Looking for that special deal? Check in regularly for discounted and blowout items and ask about their internet price matching. Biggins Lighting, located on Pine Street just up the road from Lulu's in downtown Reading. Biggins, lighting up Reading for over 45 years.
All right, hometown boy, I feel good right here. I'm about 1.5 miles away from where I used to grow up. I used to walk to school every day. I love it here. Bob Reed Stadium. They dedicated the stadium to him in the year 2000. Here comes the kickoff. Ryan Dean with a short, about a 20-yard kick. Fair catch called for number 4, Seth White. Will take that ball right about the 35, somewhere right around there.
These kickoffs got to be a lot more stronger there, Gary. I don't understand what's going on with these kickoffs tonight. They just haven't been getting down the field. I know it's not nerves because these boys are playing hard.
You notice a whole different tempo now. That's the second half.
Oh,
First
yeah.
half, people were nervous. Now they've all come to life right now.
Oh, yeah. That was a fantastic run.
All right, Heisel hands off left-hand side over left tackle. He gained about 2, maybe 3 if he's lucky.
I was looking over last year's stats for Shasta. Rushing yards. 308.8.
Whoa.
Compared to the opponents, allowing only 127 yards. That was their average.
Trent Banner has come to life for Foothill. He's 7 for 19 for 98 yards at the moment.
Fantastic. Looks like Foothill's going to try to make a comeback there.
Handoff goes off to the right-hand side, and the ball barely in his gut before he's brought down by 4 Wolves, primarily number 54 on the tackle, Troy Lyons.
Troy Lyons, he has been a beast tonight.
The ball carrier again. He's hitting the backfield. Troy Lyons, first one to get back there. Loss of 3, bring up 3rd down and 10 for the Cubs.
And once again, Gary, you're going to want to keep an eye on number 33. That's Dean, and number 41 of Matthews. That backfield is just strong. It allows those linebackers to play up front more and cause a little more pressure on the quarterback. And if Shasta can keep that up, they're going to do some damage.
They'll have something going on.
No, you will.
Heisel back to pass. He's looking way downfield, right over the middle, and it's almost intercepted, but he dropped it.
And Matthews there. What a great play.
Ratavian Matthews had it in his hands and dropped it.
And that's that one-on-one coverage that I was talking about earlier, Gary. They can play their man. And I look for Dean mainly to take whoever their top wide receiver is in every game this year.
Yep, I agree with that. West Valley High School coach Greg Grandel is mixing up. He's had 9 different people run the ball so far in the first half.
Wow, he's got a running back cord.
Yeah, he's got a lot.
He does.
And they were set to punt. Whistle goes. And I think Shasta took a timeout. They did, because I see Kirk Ramage just like stomping out on the field. He's an animated guy. Like it.
He is such an emotional coach when it comes to his defensive core.
Here's some halftime statistics from the West Valley Foothill game. Foothill, 98 yards passing, 25 yards rushing, total of 123 yards. West Valley has thrown the ball 9 times. They have 176 yards rushing, total of 285 yards. West Valley taking it to them.
Wow. He must have some big backs there.
Our friend Jason Stovall has got us tuned in. He is the guy's all over the place. He's the proprietor of ReadingReviews.com.
Oh,
you can go
fantastic.
check him out, Jason Stovall. We work together at the Reading Veterans Home. I think he's all tuned in. He's a good man. He's very creative, too. He and I think alike. We do a lot of the same stuff. There's the snap for the kick, a little bit high. He barely gets it off, and a very nice kick way over the head of number 11, and he'll finally pick it up. Kind of waited, and now he is on the move, and that is Curtis Gibson. He's finally brought down right about the 18-yard line.
Finally a good kick, a nice punt. That went all the way down to the 10-yard line before Gibson picked it up. Fantastic job.
Close to the 20-yard line. Chris Hart made the stop.
So I just heard from our girls who were listening to us. They're really kind of our ears behind this thing.
Yes.
To make sure we know it's working. And I don't know, I didn't want to tell you this, but I think our girls got a couple of teenage boys from the neighborhood in the hot tub right now.
Uh-oh.
Feeding them chocolate milk and Tang.
Hey, just save me some Tang when I get home.
I'm just kidding, ladies. We know that you guys are eating pizza and sitting outside with your feet in the pool. I think we got a better view.
We do.
Little timeout on the field right now. We got a player down over there. I can't really see from your binoculars because I think these are like Fisher-Price binoculars.
They're small ones.
They are small. Can't focus with these guys.
So, Gary, your daughter Haley is playing volleyball this year.
She's playing volleyball. She's on the A team for UPrep, the Panthers, and she loves volleyball. She just loves it.
She is an athlete. Congratulations, Haley.
She gets that from her daddy. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. All your daughters get that athletic skill from Dad.
That's right. So Donnie Trotter was out in the middle of everything, and they got a player down all the way on the other side. It's way far on the opposite side of the field. We don't have the advantage point yet, but I'm sure our trusty announcer will give us an update here in a second because he might have a spotter with some binoculars or something like that. So what we will do is we will take a very short break, and we will be right back. It's the Shasta Sports Network inaugural broadcast here at Bob Reed Stadium on XS Sports 96.1 FM.
For over 50 years, Hild Collision Center is still family-owned and operated. It all started when Art Hild opened his first body shop in 1965. Today known as Hild Collision Center, the North State's most recommended full-service collision repair business. The Hild family is proud to continue business in this great community. Every year brings new changes in many forms, from new vehicle models, training and equipment, new technology in aluminum bodies and frames, computers, airbags, and Pearl Clear Coat paints. You can be assured that the team at Hild Collision Center are the best in class. The Hild Collision Center family would like to say thank you to the North Valley for trusting them with your collision repairs and allowing them to grow and support our community. Hild Collision Center on East Cypress Avenue in Reading. Online at hildcollisioncenter.com or find us on Facebook. Hild Collision Center, where you're always a satisfied customer.
Reading Electric Utility, our community-owned electric utility. Did you know that REU offers really cool several customer assistance programs? For information, call REU at 339-7200 or visit reupower.com. REU and you, powerful together. Thank you so much for being part of the Shasta Sports Network. You're making it go. We appreciate it, Dave Jackson. We're back in action here right now. Snap goes right up, handoff right up the middle, and that's number 28, Castaneda. He's on the move. He only had one guy to beat, but he tripped him up. But a big gain and another first down. He's out to about the 37-yard line. Big run.
That was a nice run by Castaneda. He did a fantastic job. He found the hole.
30 to the 35-yard line and a first down for the Wolves.
And Martinez doesn't look too happy out there, Gary.
There goes Kyle Muckle. He gets a handoff over to the right-hand side. He jukes inside. Now he jukes outside. He's brought down just short of the first down, but that was a very good run by Kyle Muckle.
And that was Ryan Heitzel on the stop there for the Anderson Cubs.
43-yard line.
Heisel, I think, is him and Coughlin on Shasta. They're the busiest men on the field today.
They are. They are busy.
There's the handoff, left-hand side. That goes to Coughlin again, and he's got enough for the first down, plus a yard or two.
Connor Cochran
42-yard line is where they'll mark that.
over the 45 to the 46 and a first down for the Wolves.
Cochran, he looks to be setting a good pace here for the Shasta Wolves.
He is. He's setting the tone for the whole night. Clock is moving. 7:44 left to play in the third period. Coughlin now in motion. Handoff goes over the left-hand side. Coughlin's got it again, and he's on the move. He has a huge gain. Another big first down, and he's down to the 30-yard line.
Cochran all the way into Cub territory to about the 30, however, their flags.
Well, I tell you what, Martinez better light something over this defense and put something underneath those kids to motivate them a little bit more. They need to make those stops.
This is right about the part of the game. Well, actually not so much. Right about the fourth quarter is where your conditioning comes into play. Because you're practicing out here every day in 100-degree heat. Donnie said it, lots of water, brother. And, you know, it's nice and cool out here now. So they're used to the heat. Not that the cool, I mean, I'm sure they welcome the cool. They'd rather play in the cool. But conditioning makes a big difference. There's a penalty on the play, so that big run from Coughlin's going to be brought back.
That'll move the ball back to about the 42-yard line. Still first down.
First down and 15 now is what it'll be. 7:33 left to play in the third period. Man in motion. Two of them, actually. And a little bit of a mess up right there in the backfield. There's like three of them merged at the same time.
Yeah, I think he fumbled the ball there, Gary. He dropped the ball there. Garcia fell on it immediately.
You ever seen that movie? What's the name of that movie? Intersection with Tom Berenger.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it was Tom Berenger. That's what that looked like. That's what that play looked like. It was a great movie. All right, back to pass. He's looking downfield and throws a little bit short and bounces it right in front of him. Incomplete pass intended for Curtis Gibson.
Intended for Kirk Gibson.
That's funny hearing that name. I think of L.A. Dodger, Kirk Gibson.
Oh, yeah.
That'll bring up third down.
That's
Mr.
for my
Grand
friend,
Slam.
That's for my friend Anthony Ortiz from Caltrans. He's a big Dodger fan. And Mark Lillibridge, Asphalt Cowboy, big Dodger fan. All right, handoff again, goes around the left-hand side. And that's Coughlin again, and he picks up a handful of them. Not enough for a first down. They're still not even back to the original first down mark.
Around the left side.
They're not back to the original line of scrimmage yet, Gary.
Be fourth down.
So Shasta's got a decision. That decision should be easy right about now. It'll be a punting situation.
Looks like Ryan Heisel. Oh, looks like they're going to go for it here, Gary.
Watch for the fake. He'll roll out to the right-hand side, and he'll kick it. Yeah, see, they did that stuff last year. I'm not quite sure. It was a short kick, and it's picked up in the air and brought right back out to midfield. So the Cubs are in really good field position with 6:48 left to play in the third.
That was number 3, Dylan Brooks.
It'll be Anderson's ball. First down, Cubs.
That's a nice return by Dylan Brooks. Gets it up to midfield.
Brooks is brought down by Spencer Ramirez.
This is where Shasta really needs to keep the tempo and put the pressure and not let Anderson get any yards here.
TJ Holmes is on the sideline of Foothill, and he overheard Trent Banner say, "We're scoring every time we're touching the ball now." He said that to one of his teammates. Banner's fired up. Nice. Thank you, TJ, for the update. TJ, sports reporter, best in the business with the Record Searchlight. Love that guy. He's a very thorough and very good and very exciting about his stuff. Flags are down on the play. Handoff goes up the middle. Gain of about 2 before he walks into a brick wall with white shirts on.
So Banner was selected as the number 1 player.
No, he was number 2. Patrick Blake, also on Foothill. Those 2 guys are both exciting.
So you got 1 and 2, both from Foothill this year.
That's correct.
Wow. Shasta and Foothill is going to be a fantastic matchup.
5 yards, still first down.
That is going to be a really good game I'm looking forward to. And I'm also looking forward to the visiting Pleasant Valley.
Oh, yeah.
Pleasant Valley is tough. They have tough players. Every player that comes out of there goes to a good college, and some of them go to the NFL.
Timeout called by the Cubs.
All right, Anderson takes a timeout. Let's take a timeout right along with him. We'll be back here in a moment. It's the Shasta Sports Network on live tonight with XS Sports 96.1 FM.
You can now see before and after pictures at HillCollisionCenter.com. Professional grade repairs and satisfied customer reviews. Watch a free virtual tour of Hill Collision Center's state-of-the-art facility. See it online at HillCollisionCenter.com.
It's no surprise Biggins Lighting has been lighting up Reading for over 45 years. They have an amazing showroom displaying the latest in designs and styles, a dedicated staff providing superior customer service, and the most affordable pricing in town. Biggins Lighting is your one-stop shop for lighting, fans, fixtures, bulbs, and more. Looking for that special deal? Check in regularly for discounted and blowout items and ask about their internet price matching. Biggins Lighting, located on Pine Street just up the road from Lulu's in downtown Reading. Biggins, lighting up Reading for over 45 years.
That's right. They've been around for a long time. Biggins Lighting. 6:43 left to go. 14-8 favor of Shasta at the moment. Anderson's got the ball right at their own 45. Heisel, your quarterback so far. He's done a great job tonight. He's a busy boy too. He's on defense. He's going both ways. There he's back to pass. Takes a little stutter step, throws it out to the left side, a little swing pass. That is complete. And it goes up to the 47, 48-yard line, and that looks like number 10. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dan.
That is Rodney Kincaid.
Pass is completed to Rodney
the wrestler.
Kincaid. There's a flag in the backfield.
Uh-oh.
Chop block's the indication.
Chop block, it's going to come back. So, Gary, I was looking over the webpage for the Shasta Sports Network.
Yes.
And really good-looking photos on there. Very fantastic-looking photos of you, and I know your broadcasting expertise. Where did you get those photos done?
Now, my man standing on my right here, Tony Horde Photography. Tony, welcome again to the broadcast. You've been hanging out with us tonight. We just recently met, you and I, and you and Danny have been friends since high school all the way. You do really remarkable work. You've done some publicity shots for me, and I'm going to start using some of those and put them on the website to replace the old one, because the one that's on there now is from like 4 or 5 years ago, and I need to be updated. I need to be photoshopped. What made you get into the photography business?
Well, I've been in computers for quite a long time, and I just wanted something exciting to leave computers and do on my own and have fun with. So I've always enjoyed studio work, and so that was my goal. So I put a studio together and started doing portrait photography.
I have a lot of respect for what you do. My brother Bill, who's the lead photographer down at the at the Enterprise Record in Chico. And he's had a camera in his hand as long as I've known him. And it's just really neat to see creative work, because I'm a creative guy. Handoff up the middle. He's met immediately, a few yards gained. He brings it out to about the 34-yard line.
He'll get out to the 35-yard line.
So photography is great because it's
Second
creativity.
down along for the Cubs.
And there's no rules. I mean, there's formulas and there's tricks of the trade, and there's Photoshop this and photography that, and doing all that stuff. But your work is fine work, and I'm happy to have you as part of the Shasta Sports Network this year. We're going to have a lot of fun this season.
Thanks, Gary. I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to be watching this great football game.
Good. If you're not doing nothing next weekend, Daniel and I need a driver. We got about a 15-hour drive. You're welcome to join us. Hot dogs are on me.
Hot dogs are on you.
Is this the Fall River trip?
No, this is the one, the Shasta College opening season game down in Coalinga.
Coalinga. It's a long drive.
Shasta College has 98 people on their roster. You believe that? That's awesome.
They've got a
Heisel back to pass. He looks right over the middle. He throws it down left-hand side about 20 yards. It goes out of bounds, nowhere near the receiver. Intended receiver was number 4 for Anderson.
I'll tell you what, Heisel did not want to throw that ball just yet, but he had to get rid of it in a hurry. Number 55, he was on his way in there, and that is Dotson again. Alex Dotson just putting the pressure on.
You're right. Sometimes you got to get rid of that ball. If he had not got it off when he did, he would have been shopping for a new rib cage tomorrow.
And our player that was injured earlier, Lane Bowman, he is back in the lineup, and he is back on that defensive end there. And he is looking to get to the quarterback. He wants Heisel.
Third and a long way to go, 3rd and 20 for the Cubs. Heisel looking to pass. He's got a wide receiver out to the left, one to the right. He hands it off right up the middle. There's a big hole, and he gets to the outside, and he is off to the races, down to the 40, 35, 30. He's going to be dropped out of bounds at the 16-yard line. What a huge run for number 10.
Rodney Kincaid inside the 20, down to the 15-yard line, and a first down.
I tell you what, that was a fantastic stop by Kurt Gibson there, coming all the way from the other side of the field to make that stop and save them from getting that touchdown.
You know what that's called right there? That's the old bait and switch. They had guys all the way out to the outside. They're thinking pass. It's 3rd and 20, and they run it right up the middle. Nice call, Donnie Trotter. Big run, too.
That was a fantastic run by Kincaid. But, whoa, what a good save.
Now they're inside the red zone. The Cubs are. 1st and 10, 5:23 left to play. It's Shasta 14, Anderson 8. That is about to change. Same type of a play that went nowhere that time.
And once again, Alex Dotson in there to put the pressure on, makes the stop.
There is nothing like a high school football game hot dog. Tony, thank you.
Oh, look at that. Fantastic.
You are welcome, Gary.
Brought down by Alex Dotson and Ratavian.
I think all I've had to eat, I was so busy today, I think all I've had was about 4 sunflower seeds and a pickle.
I had 2 hot dogs before you came over and grabbed me to come over here and do the broadcast.
Heisel sends it right up the middle one more time. Shasta's onto him now with that up the middle run.
And there's the play I was looking for from the Cooch man. Kari Cooch, he put some pressure up there, broke through his blocker, and got to the runner fast. That's the intensity and aggression that I was waiting for. And the Cooch man delivered.
The Cooch.
The Cooch.
I played against a guy in Fall River in high school named Mitch Gooch, and he was huge, and he ran me over. He ran me over. Him and Lance Klagas, great football players from Fall River. Heisel fakes the handoff, drops out to pass, throws it over the middle, and it's almost intercepted, but then almost deflected and caught in the end zone. Incomplete pass.
A second one got away from Matthews, Ratavian Matthews back there. He had his hands on it, and it went right over his head. That's that pressure that they put on there. I think Heisel wanted to keep that ball just a little bit longer, but he had the pressure coming in.
As they're facing 4th down and 7.
4th and 7, they'll take a timeout. Anderson's got a player on the ground. It looks like he's cramping up. Got the training staff working on him.
Boy, I tell you, Don, Mr. Trotter here has got these boys primed and ready. They are playing with a lot of heart
They
tonight.
really needed this too. You know, they've struggled over the last couple of seasons right now, and I think it was a good idea that they made a coaching change, and, they brought in the right guy. They really did.
Yes, they did. And what a beautiful facility here. I mean, Anderson School is the field is in great condition.
I'm a big fan of the artificial turf like at Thompson Field, but I'm an even bigger fan of natural turf.
Natural turf, and it looks really good. It looks like it's conditioned, and it's a fantastic, beautiful night here, Gary.
It is now that we can't see all the smoke from all them fires.
I wonder what Kalinga's going to be like next weekend.
You might want to bring a breather.
4th down and 7. They're going for it.
Heisel fakes the pass, throws it, dumps it right over the edge, and that's incomplete at the 18. No good.
On the coverage there, number 28.
Castaneda,
Diego Castaneda.
Heisel's pass is incomplete. Was intended for Garrett Kingston. And Shasta holds, takes over on downs. Shasta's ball, 1st and 10.
That was Kingston in the backfield coming out for the screen pass there.
Line.
You know, I was really kind of curious on Heisel was going to perform tonight playing quarterback and not playing that position for quite a while.
He's doing good.
He has done a fantastic job.
Handoff right up the middle. I believe that may have been Castaneda again. He's tripped up at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
Hacienda, ball carrier.
Did he just call him Hacienda?
About a yard.
Castaneda.
2nd down and 9.
Sounded like he said Hacienda.
Tripped up by
High
Garrett
snap,
Kingston.
handoff over to the right-hand side. Cubs are all over him. Maybe gained 1 yard on that.
Time he'll get another yard.
That's the man with 2 touchdowns tonight.
3rd down and 8.
And the leading candidate for player of the game right now.
I agree.
Handoff, left-hand side. That goes to number 22. He's got a little bit of room. He runs right in. Guy bounces off of him.
We got a
Comes
flag
back,
on the play.
Flag's down.
Marino Carrillo, the ball carrier. There's a penalty flag back to the line of scrimmage. Tanner Smith, the birthday boy, making
Anderson's only down by 6. If they could put the pressure on, they still have another whole quarter to go.
Here we got to say hello to Christopher Miller, who is listening to us right now. Says we sound good.
Oh, hey, brother. How you doing, Chris?
That's Daniel's brother. He's the guy who does all the work on my Jeep. Chris, I hope I never have to see you again.
That Jeep's been giving you some problems.
Oh, boy.
Chris told me, I called him earlier today, and he said he's going to be listening to us tonight.
Good.
Glad to have you aboard, Chris. I love you, brother.
.257 left to go in the 3rd. 1st and 10 for Shasta. Kind of lackluster out there right now. That hurry-up offense doesn't even compare to what they had last year. Castaneda off tackle, left-hand side. He drives, gets barely backed up to the line of scrimmage.
Up the middle. Pick up about 2 yards, bring up 2nd down and 8. Schubert making the stop.
Handoff over to the right-hand side to Coughlin one more time, and he's met immediately by the Cubs, and he's down at the 30. He'll lose a yard.
Coughlin.
That was number 24. That's Sherbert.
Ball carrier.
Devon Sherbert getting through there.
Couple yards. Bring up 3rd down and long. Ryan
Sherbert.
Heisel making the
I love
stop.
Sherbert.
Sherbert he's been playing tough tonight.
I like lime and raspberry. Garcia back to pass. Little off balance, throws it over to the outside. It might have been intercepted. We'll find out. It is intercepted. Anderson takes over.
Seth White.
That is Seth White, number 4, with the interception. Good coverage on that. He stuck right with his man. That ball was thrown a little high there, though, which enabled Seth to make the play on that.
Garcia was really off balance. He was rolling to his left. He's a right-hander. He was off balance. He threw it wide and wobbly. Interception.
Well, he had a lot of pressure coming onto him. He had to roll out to the right there. To the left. The left.
To the left, to the left.
Everybody to the left.
What's that song? You know that song?
Beyonce.
No.
Everything you own in the box to the left.
That'll be a timeout. Anderson takes the timeout right there. 14-8 is the score. Shasta leads in the third quarter. 2 minutes and 1 second left to play. We're ready to take a break. We'll be right back at the Shasta Sports Network on XS Sports 96.1 FM.
When you choose Hild Collision Center, you have the option to receive text or email updates as your vehicle goes through the collision restoration process. Read customer reviews and see before and after photos online at hildcollisioncenter.com.
Okay, we're back in action here. Big pile up right at the line of scrimmage.
That started all with the penetration of number 41, Retravian Matthews, coming right through the center there, all the way from free safety, coming in and putting the pressure on and breaking through that line. That's the big place. He, according to head coach Hunsaker, he is the hardest hitter they have on that defense.
Really? Well, now you know why.
Oh, yeah.
He hit that guy so hard he needs a new pair of shoes. Heisel takes the snap, hands off left tackle. He goes nowhere. As soon as he had the ball, they had him wrapped up. Number 54 on the tackle.
Kincaid hit the backfield.
Troy Lyons. He's had a pretty active night.
He has been a really force on defense tonight.
And Troy Lyons making that stop. Loss of a couple.
Put the pressure on. He is their middle linebacker, but sometimes he switches over to the offensive, the outside linebacker position. And then I've also seen him up on the defensive line. Ramage says that he is basically his Mike Singletary of that defense.
Ooh, that's a compliment.
Yes, it is. He's really good at reading offenses there.
Flag is down right there. We'll get the call on that here in a second. False start. I think if I knew that Mike Singletary was on the other side of the line, I'd rather take on a Greyhound bus.
I would not even go to that line. That guy, his eyes were intense.
Oh, yeah.
And he knew everything.
Clock is running, Daniel. They're probably gonna run this one out. They might get one more play off, or looks like they might get it. They've got 18 seconds to get it off. 14-8's the score right now. We're winding up on the third quarter right now. Heisel back to pass, and he's got pressure on him, and he goes down, but he gets the pass off, and it's intercepted.
That's Matthews with the interception. He's running it back. He's still alive. He's holding that ball. He's down the sideline. And he's out of bounds at the 40-yard line. What a great interception.
You know, that was a really good play for Matthews, and, you know, he was holding that ball like a loaf of bread.
Yes, he was. He
had
it out there.
We're here listening to their coaches, their spotters, and video guys over here on the right going, tuck it in, tuck it in.
That was a fantastic interception. Great play by Matthews.
Matthews gets the ball all the way to the...
Boy, Dean and Matthews, that backfield that I was talking about earlier, is really starting the year off good.
They're shining. I will say that hurry-up offense that I'm so accustomed to by Shasta, they're nowhere near that pace tonight. Here's the way it was last year. When the referee put the ball down, they had it snapped within 5 seconds, and they kept everybody. And you could see the progression of the entire game, and you would see about the fourth quarter, everybody would be wiped out.
Speaking of the fourth quarter, Gary, we're getting ready to come back for the fourth quarter.
Well, that is the end of the third period. Shasta leads here at Anderson 14-8. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back. It's the Shasta Sports Network on XS Sports 96.1 FM.
It's no surprise, Biggins Lighting has been lighting up Reading for over 45 years. They have an amazing showroom displaying the latest in designs and styles, a dedicated staff providing superior customer service, and the most affordable pricing in town. Biggins Lighting is your one-stop shop for lighting, fans, fixtures, bulbs, and more. Looking for that special deal? Check in regularly for discounted and blowout items and ask about their internet price matching. Biggins Lighting, located on Pine Street just up the road from Lulu's in downtown Reading. Biggins, lighting up Reading for over 45 years.
Blitz is defined as a sudden, savage attack.
All right, here's some more highlights from the 2015 season for the Shasta Wolves. We made a little highlight reel. Here we go.
Drops immediately back to pass. Now steps up a little bit. Has to dodge a couple of guys. Rolls out to the right-hand side. Looks over to the right-hand side, and he's got a guy. That is complete. Number 23 on the move. Jake Walker getting into the game. He goes across the line. Touchdown, Shasta. What a piece of that championship.
Gary, that was good stuff. I love that Shasta reel there. All right, we are back. It is the fourth quarter. 11:49 to play.
Kyle Muckle, the ball carrier.
Shasta now going from the right to the left.
About 4 yards on the play.
Muckle with the ball carry.
Outside run. Here we go. That's number 2, Coughlin. He's on the move. Right now he's down.
Oh, he
near
lost
the
the
20.
ball. He lost the ball, Gary. I think he got his own recovery back, though. What a quick.
Nobody's jumping around like there's
The ball is recovered by Shasta. A first down.
There we go. Now we got that hurry-up offense. 2 guys very wide to the right. 2 guys, quarterback in the backfield. Got 1 guy, Muckle in motion. Muckle will take the ball over the right side, and he's looking inside. He cuts it, moves, and the guy wraps him up, and he takes him down after about a 4-yard gain.
Boy, they are keying on Muckle tonight. They are really keying on
4
him.
yards to the 16-yard line.
But there's one kid that I don't think they anticipated, and that's number 2. Cogren has just been running them down tonight. Straight up the middle. Handoff to number 28.
Castaneda. Hacienda.
Hacienda.
Bring up third down in about 3.
We've been working. I'll tell you the story in a second. Ready to go. Garcia ready to go. He takes the snap, hands it again over to Muckle to the right-hand side, and there he goes. He jukes, he moves, and he's going all the way in, and that's going to be 6 points for Shasta.
There's that speed that you were talking about, Gary.
Yeah.
Boy, he just blew right through that hole. And that linebacking core, where is it? Oh, yeah, look at Martinez. He is upset at that. And that's where it starts, is right in the center there with that linebacking core. That middle linebacker can't shift to the right like that. They went right up the gut and went to the left side of him.
So Shasta's doing it quietly, but they're racking them up. Extra point. Here's the snap, the placement, the kick. It's low, but it's still good enough to go through the uprights. That'll make it 21-8 with 10:30 left to play. Go ahead and roll more of those highlights. Just fast forward a little bit. Why not?
Blitz
Why
is
not?
defined as a sudden, savage attack. It is indeed all this. The theory is simple. Get the quarterback. Get the man.
Catanese takes the snap, drops immediately back to pass. Now steps up a little bit, has to dodge a couple of guys. Rolls out to the right-hand side, looks over to the right-hand side, and he's got a guy. That is complete. Number 23 on the move. Jake Walker getting into the game. He goes across the line. Touchdown, Shasta.
Want a piece of that championship? Put it in here.
Football is a rough game and often a cruel one.
Every time you lose, you die a little bit. You die inside, a portion of you. Not all of your organs, maybe just your liver.
You know, we talked a little bit about J.C. Hunsaker, the coach, and him coming in here for this first year. He has changed the entire culture of this Shasta football club, and it's been very impressive.
There's a vast array of which you could choose from. We do a weekly word every week, and in terms of our new opponent this week, it's pride, and how we define it. We use it on how we've used it to the point in the season, how we want to use it this week. We've also established our 3 rules in our program way back in February when I got the job, and that's number 1, always do the right thing. Number 2, put your teammates first. Number 3, hold yourself accountable. And those are things that we always rest upon. Hey, in this situation, are you putting your teammates first? No, then motivate yourself more. You know, when you are thinking of everybody else before you're thinking of yourself, that's when everything clicks, and not just you as an individual. So it's things that we've preached about way more than just X's and O's, like you said. It's situations that you put them in. We want them to be successful after high school.
All right, so kickoff there got a little bit wobbly. Almost had a fumble on the play. 10:23 left to play. It's 21-8 Shasta. They've done it slowly, methodically, silently, but they're starting to put them up.
Another not so good kick. What is going on with the kickers?
Well,
they're going to have a busy practice week next week.
Yeah, the kicking teams, on both sides, need a little work. Speaking of kicking, the guy we saw yesterday at Shasta College, no problem, 55-yarder in practice.
55 yards.
Not intense, just taking the 2 or 3 steps and boom, right
He was
through.
a big boy. He was a big boy.
I am really looking forward to doing some Shasta College stuff. Okay, so Anderson with the ball. Oh, there's a flag down already, and referee's pointing at somebody like he stole his chicken. False start. So that'll back him up 5 yards.
You can see that offensive line is starting to get frustrated from Anderson. And they're anticipating still the pressure. And if Kurt Ramage, the man who bleeds purple, I guarantee you he's not going to let up on the pressure. He's going to keep it coming.
Patrick Blake, the number 1 rated player in the northern section, is got 4 catches for 64 yards and 2 touchdowns in the game against West Valley.
Wow. He is exploding.
We're keeping an eye on TJ Holmes. He keeps us updated.
TJ Holmes, fantastic meeting you the other day. Very knowledgeable man and a very good writer.
He's good. We like him. I think he's like, I don't know the history of sports reporters in this area for the Record Searchlight, but they have a gem with TJ Holmes.
Yes, they do. TJ knows his stuff. Very fantastic writing. I took a lot of my pre-analysis and really kind of mirrored off of what he had written, but it's very good.
You know what really makes the difference and stuff? Not everybody can be a good writer. Writing's easy, comes to me. I've been doing it for life, but it really comes down to the knowledge of the game and the passion for the game, and he's got it all.
He does.
He likes college a lot, too.
He loves college. And he doesn't really, not so much for the NFL, but still.
Another flag on the play.
Loves the local sports, and that's what's fantastic.
That's going to be a delay of game call against the Cubs. 9:34 left to play, 21-8. Shasta leads. Not their best performance, but a win is a win if you get it.
Hey, it's starting the season off good. And Shasta is not letting up. That defense, really great performance tonight from the defense, putting a lot of pressure on, a couple of interceptions tonight.
I've been watching defensive coordinator Kirk Ramage over there. I think that guy has burned about 17,000 calories.
He has
tonight.
paced up and down, but you know what? He has got a smile on his face.
He does. Back to pass goes Heisel. He looks over to the right hand. No, it's not Heisel. You got a new quarterback in there for Anderson.
Well, I'll tell you what. Once again, number 55 coming through the center there. Dotson.
Rodney Kincaid, I believe, is
incomplete. Intended for Mario Martinez.
No good there. The Shasta Sports Network is presented by Omega Mortgage, the professionals in the business. Meet the Omega team at omglending.com or give them a call at 223-1400. Great people. Their customer service, second to none in any type of a finance situation I've ever been in my life. They get it done. Aaron Landis, you're the man.
Sorry, Kincaid's pass was incomplete.
Okay, here we go. So it's Kincaid back behind quarterback now. He'll take the snap, fade back to pass. He's a lefty. He looks over the middle. He's got a guy wide open, and it's complete at the 40-yard line, and he takes it down to about the 45. Good pickup for the Cubs.
Number 41, Retravian Matthews on the stop. If he would have broken past Matthews, he would have been gone.
First down, Cubs.
Boy, that announcer. He just chimes through.
It's kind of nice to have it here because sometimes we don't see a number or a person, and he's got spotters in there, and he'll come through. And
is this what you call the nosebleed section?
Nope.
Okay.
Long pass down the right-hand side, intended for number 4, and that is incomplete. Seth White.
That was Curtis Gibson on the coverage, number 11. Fantastic man-to-man. And that's what Hunsacker was talking about, is that Ramage loves that man-to-man defense, and he has so much trust in his defensive back.
Did you just call him Hunsack?
Hunsacker.
Better check your spelling. You know what I've noticed as an announcer over the years, whether it's auto racing, monster trucks, or whatever, sometimes you don't know how to pronounce the name, or sometimes you don't know the name. That's where we make up a name, especially in the racing world.
Yes.
But I tell you what, if you mess up a name, a mother or a girlfriend will be right up here to tell you.
Yes.
And you'll never do it wrong again. All right, here comes the snap right now. Heisel back to pass. They're mixing it up. He's got 2 guys on him. He kind of throws it over to the right-hand side. He's got a receiver right there. It's complete right at the 45-yard line. That was kind of a mishap play, but they picked it up.
Once again, that pressure was coming in.
I think that may have been Mario Martinez. He's a sophomore, 5'10", 214. Not bad at all.
He gets the ball to about the 48-yard line. Bring up 3rd down for the Cubs. Troy Lyons making the stop.
We have a player down, Gary.
Shasta player down.
Yes, we do have a player down.
We'll just stick with you right here. We'll follow TJ home. West Valley settles for a 21-yard field goal to put the Eagles up 17-14. Close game.
Wow. Making a good game there.
17-14, 42 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. TJ's got himself a game. If you remember right, if you followed last year, Foothill, I believe, was leading the game, and in like the last minute and a half, West Valley scored like twice, maybe 3 times, and just blew the game out in like the last minute and 33 seconds. It's an exciting game. It looks like they're shaping up to have another one just like that tonight. Anderson's got the ball. They're near midfield at their own 48. 3rd down and 7, 8:46 left to play in the football game here. Opening night, back to pass again goes Heisel. He throws a left-handed pass, and it's picked off. There he goes. Number 55 is down to the 20. Cuts it back to the 15, 10, 5 over the line. Touchdown, Shasta.
I tell you what, that's Alec Dodson all over the field, but that never would have happened if it wasn't for the pressure of number 53, and that was Dawson Brooks coming in hard on Hartzell.
You're absolutely right. That was very quick pressure on it. So quick, in fact, that Hartzell put the ball in his left hand and just kind of pitched it out that way. It was a complete pass, but just to the wrong guy.
That defense puts the pressure on, and I tell you what, that is Ramage football right there. He loves to blitz. And when you got a defensive back like that that can cover those wide receivers one-on-one, that's what happens.
Hey, who doesn't like to blitz, man? You make things happen when you blitz because it just throws everybody off. Here comes the extra point, set to go, snap. Oh, they're going to fake it. And Garcia rolls out to the right-hand side, throws it into the end zone, and it's picked off, but that means nothing. So with 8:32 left to play, Anderson is down by a score of 27-8. They started out great in the first half. They were right with him. It was 8-7, I think, at halftime.
8-7 at halftime.
But just slowly, and they've had a couple of really good plays, and they just put it together. Shasta taking it to him, 27-8 right now, 8:32 left to play. Yeah, we'll take a little bit of a break right now. We'll come back in a second. This is the Shasta Sports Network on XS Sports 96.1 FM.
It's no surprise Biggins Lighting has been lighting up Reading for over 45 years. They have an amazing showroom displaying the latest in designs and styles, a dedicated staff providing superior customer service, and the most affordable pricing in town. Biggins Lighting is your one-stop shop for lighting, fans, fixtures, bulbs, and more. Looking for that special deal? Check in regularly for discounted and blowout items and ask about their internet price matching. Biggins Lighting, located on Pine Street just up the road from Lulu's in downtown Reading. Biggins, lighting up Reading for over 45 years.
ready to go. Shasta getting set to kick off. They're at our right-hand side. They'll be kicking to the left. Anderson will be moving from the left to the right. And the band plays on. Here we go. Kickoff, Ryan Dean over to the right-hand side. Nice kick. Oh, two Cubs try to grab it together, and it bounces off one of their chests, and they fall on it. It's a dead ball at the 25.
I'll tell you what, going back to that interception, Gary, he was in a perfect position playing the linebacker back there. He was in the perfect position, but once again, that would have never happened. Brooks came right through the center, number 53, and just put all the pressure on Heisel there.
It was really nice for the interception because nobody was around him, and the ball was like right to him. He could have made a touchdown in a wheelchair on that play.
He was wide open there, and boy, what a great defensive play. Defensive coordinator Ramage has really got this defense toned up for this game.
Into the third period, West Valley leads Foothill 17-14. West Valley just had a quick fumble, but then Foothill turned around and fumbled it right back. It's a pay-for-play scheme. I've had so much fun tonight.
Oh, this is a fantastic game.
I want to tell you the story on how the idea for this thing came together. As soon as we get a break, I'll share that with you. Handoff over to the right-hand side. Cub runs right into his own guy, bounces off of him like he was blubber, and he lost a few.
And once again, number 55, Alex Dotson, right there to make the stop.
Devin Schubert, the ball carrier for the Cubs.
Dotson ought to pick up about 7 stickers for his helmet tonight.
I tell you, just the whole defensive back and linebacker core, all the way up to the defensive line, they have just played with nothing but pressure and good coverage.
Anderson came out strong, real strong in the whole first half, and now Shasta is just slowly and surely just picking up right where they left off last year. 27-8, 7:50 left to play in regulation. Handoff goes up the middle, and there's a big wolf pack waiting for him.
I believe he was down before he lost the ball.
Yeah, the ground cannot cause a fumble, but I sure do wish number 55 sure does wish that it did, because he would have had a fumble recovery on his hands, and that's Alex Dodson.
That's the man who just made that last interception and ran it back for a touchdown.
I've heard that name several times tonight.
Boy, now I really got to think about the player of the game, because the defense has just been fantastic in the second half.
They've really stepped up.
Dodson has just been all over that field. Kind of reminds you of a defensive player that was all over the field.
Okay.
In the NFL.
And we got a whistle on the play, flag down, another false start.
Now the frustration sets in for Anderson. It's starting to show.
Rodney Kincaid is at quarterback right now. He is a junior, so he's got another year after this one, and he's a good football player. Clock is running. Or they've got the signal for it to run. They'll give it to him again. Referee in the white hat. 6:57 left to play. 27-8 is your score. Shasta home opener is in a couple of weeks, I think, against a team out of Medford. Medford's coming down, and then Shasta's going over to Reno. That's going to be a fun trip. Handoff off tackle to the right-hand side. Guy almost gets clotheslined. Still has his helmet on, so we know he's okay.
Once again, number 53 there on the first initial stop.
Devin Schubert, the ball carrier again for the Cubs.
That's the guy who put on the pressure earlier. That's Dotson Brooks.
Yep, he's been busy tonight, too. We've heard his name lots of times. Okay, ball at the hash mark on the right-hand side. Cubs have the ball. They're moving from our left to our right. Clock is ticking. We're approaching the 6-minute mark right now, and you can sort of see the progression. It's not like they're giving up, but they're wearing down. That's where the conditioning. Anderson's going to kick it away.
Curtis Gibson back there to catch it.
Not a bad punt. Oh, he misjudged it. He's got time to pick it up just for fun. Oh, he bobbles it, and Anderson picks it up. Anderson's going to get that ball at their own 35.
Oh, Gibson's got to be the sickest kid in the world right now. Look at him, Gary. He knew he should have stayed away from that.
He should have completely stayed away from that football, but instead it looked like it had a sausage attached to it, and he wanted a piece of it.
But look at number 2 came out, looked at him, and said, "Don't worry about it, buddy. We'll get it back."
Yep, that's what you do.
Yep.
Support your teammates. We all make mistakes.
That's good sportsmanship right there.
I'll tell you a mistake that I made when I was a senior in high school. I was a defensive end, but I was also the punt snapper, and we played in Chester. And I had a lot of tackles. I had a great game, but it came time to punt, and I snapped that thing about 15 yards past our punter.
Oh, no.
I felt about as low as a nickel.
But your teammates backed you up.
Heisel ready to pass. He's back to it. He drops back about 7 steps. He's got lots of time. Has a guy. He's wide open. That's nice. Number 44 down to the right about the 16-yard line. Good pickup for Anderson. Jared Kingston.
Number 55, Alex Dotson on the stop there.
First down Cubs.
Now is being covered by number 23. That is Gildan Magrini.
Yeah, and I believe his dad, Eric Magrini, who's an asphalt cowboy, is the undersheriff right underneath Tom Pasenko.
Oh.
Eric's probably here tonight. He's on the other side. Back to pass. Goes Heisel. Throws it deep into the end zone, left-hand side. Had a guy for just a second. Lost his balance, and it's an incomplete pass.
I tell you what, Carrillo was all over him. He was on a tight coverage there.
That'll bring up second down.
Well, it seems like defensive coordinator Kirk Ramage just go ahead and got his other players out of there and given the second string a little run for the defense.
Well, you know what? A lot of these players do not have a solid job yet. They're still trying to figure out who's who and who's going to be shining. And they try the exact same pass again over deep into the corner, and it's an incomplete pass again. Same exact play. Just like their two quarterbacks on Shasta. Neither one of them has a starting job yet. Coach Hunsaker said, we're going to put them both in. We're going to give them a lot of rotations, a lot of time, let them throw the ball, and we're going to see who rises to the top. And I think they're both pretty even tonight. Garcia's had a great game. He's not bad.
Garcia had a very good game. But Kilgore started it off, and he actually had a really good game too. Third down and 10. 4:38 left to go. Oh.
Handoff up the middle. That goes nowhere.
Number 50 on the stop there for Shasta. Boy, he seemed like he just ran right into a brick wall there.
That's what it looked like.
That was Joaquin Torres.
It was a brick wall in white and purple.
Loss of a yard on the play. Bring up fourth down for the Cubs.
Well, Shasta has done exactly what I thought that they were going to do tonight. Their defensive line has won the battle in the trenches, and that's where it starts with. If you can control that offensive line and get the penetration through, you're going to upset the quarterback a little bit and cause the timing to go off a little bit.
You'll make things happen. You'll make him nervous. Heisel again, he signals for a guy in motion. He does. He hands off to number 3 around the left-hand side. He's got a little bit of running room. He cuts it back into the middle, and he's still moving. Spins, gains a pretty good gain. He's down inside the 10.
First down Cubs.
Whoa.
What a good run.
It was like an alarm clock there.
Dylan Brooks running hard across the middle inside the 10. Down to about the 7-yard line.
Once again, 53, Dawson Brooks on the stop there. .327 left in this game, Gary, and it's been a fantastic game.
Handoff goes right up the middle, very close to the goal line, maybe down at the 1.
Up the middle.
Big boy behind the tackle of that, number 70.
Second down and goal, ball at the 1.
That'll be Jason Shepard. First time we've heard his name tonight. 6'3", 260-pound senior.
Woo.
Big kid.
You know, I tell you, all the players that I was watching for tonight have really done their jobs. They have done a fantastic job. Kincaid has been fantastic tonight. Cush has been really good tonight. I was really...
Handoff over to the right-hand side, and makes it right across the goal line. Anderson scores.
Rodney Kincaid from 1 yard out.
Ratavian Matthews has had an interception tonight. Ryan Dean's had an interception tonight. Those are the three key players that I was looking at. Cush has been a very good force on the defensive line there, getting a lot of pressure to the quarterback. I am really pleased, and I'm sure head coach Hunsaker is really pleased with the way these boys have performed tonight.
Well, he probably wasn't in the first half. They were down by a point at halftime, but they really turned it around. 2:43 left to play. Extra point coming up. Kick is way low. So low it hit the referee right in the chest. Incomplete pass on the ref.
I think number 55 got in there and got actually a little piece of that ball there, Gary. Once again, Alex Dotson making the penetration through the offensive line, and I think he got his fingers on the ball.
You know as well as I do that a lot can happen in 2 minutes and 43 seconds.
It is not over.
They're only down by 13 points, and I've seen crazy things happen.
Both teams still have 3 timeouts left, and a lot can happen in 2 minutes and 43 seconds.
Yep, we're going to see something here.
My question is, now is Anderson going to try to go for the onside kick?
Sure. Why wouldn't you?
Well, the kicks have been almost like onside kicks tonight.
I know.
So I'm kind of curious.
I'll tell you, even the punts have been like onside kicks tonight.
One good punt.
I've never seen anything like it.
50-plus yards. Everything else has been 30, 25. So I wonder if they're setting them up for this moment right here, right now.
Hey, you never know. Kirk Ramage on the opposite side of the field, still on the move. That boy's going to need a new pair of shoes before this night is over. He needs a pair of those white Nikes with the red whoosh on them. Those things were popular back then.
You know, something that was interesting that head coach Hunsaker said, they got Daryl Tracy on their coaching staff, but is actually helping them for the future.
Nice. Well, that was kind of interesting.
He is a positioning coach, and I went to high school with Daryl Tracy.
Sorry about that. Vinny Smith took the kickoff, ran it back 5 yards, and took a knee. They're going to run the clock out is what they're going to do because Shasta's got the ball now.
Vincent Smith takes a knee at about the 32-yard
We got the player of the game coming up. That is brought to you by Hild Collision Center. Looking forward to that, too. So we got a couple of really good candidates. We're going to have to take a break when the game's over. And
we got a big decision to make,
that
Gary.
out. Hild Collision Center proudly supports local athletes and your official presenter of the Player of the Game Award. Each player will be highlighted each week, and a special end-of-the-year award presentation will be made, and a contribution going back to the Shasta High football program. Oh, boy, somebody's on the run. Number 20 on the move. Nobody's going to touch him. All the way down the left-hand side. Touchdown, Shasta.
That is Vinny Smith, number 20. Boy, he just took that handoff, went around the left side there, and broke through the hole of the linebackers, and he was gone.
How long was that run? Did you catch where the starting? I think it was at the 25.
They were at the 35, Gary.
35. Wow.
That's a 75-yard run right there.
67 yards.
67. Pretty close.
Hey, if you had a few more fingers, you would have made it.
Yes.
67-yard run. Nice job.
Can we say it yet?
Nope.
Okay.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Because it can come back.
Yeah. If you sing that song, you are on player injured reserve list.
Point after is good.
In short, you'd be on the DL.
Who did not love Dandy Don?
That
man brought some entertainment.
Kathy Leaf, at a certain point, didn't love him. What was that guy's name who just ran that 67-yard run? Vinny Smith.
Vinny Smith. Fantastic run by Vinny Smith. Well, the candidate that I thought we were going to be picking tonight, Gary, they've really keyed on him tonight.
Yeah.
And that's your man, number 3, Kyle Muckle.
I know. Kyle's not having a great game tonight. He's just not. You just don't have a good game.
Well, I think Anderson's defense really keyed on him tonight, and that was the difference there. but they didn't think about number 2. And they certainly didn't think about number 20. And Mr. Smith there taking that 67 yards.
That was nice. He's going to be on a natural high for the rest of the weekend. He's going to stay up late tonight.
And like you said earlier, they are still fighting for their positions.
That's right.
And
many of them are.
And he did a fantastic job there, 67 yards.
Those are always fun to call.
Oh, yeah.
We're keeping a close eye on the West Valley Foothill game for you. As soon as we get an update, we'll let you know.
You know, Gary, this is a packed crowd here tonight. When this game first started, both sides of the grandstands were full, but now it seems to be getting a little
kind of
thin over
tapering
here.
off a little bit. Anderson usually sticks in all the way through the long haul. They're a good crowd here. There's probably the best kick I've seen all night long.
Whoa.
Taken at the 15-yard line out to the 20, 25. He's got a little bit of running room. 30, 35. He's got more room. He's outside. He's got one guy to beat, and he's not going to do it. He'll go down at the 47-yard line. Good run by Kilgore.
Nice save and stop by Ryan Dean, number 33.
Tony Horde checking in to Bob Reed Stadium. Thank you, Tony.
Oh, it's great to have Tony here tonight. He's got a fantastic eye. Some people said he's got 2 fantastic eyes. I think he's just a fantastic computer man. He saved my laptop a couple weeks ago, boy.
Yeah, why don't you tell people you dumped a beer all over it?
I don't know.
It was a near beer. I get it. But it was liquid. Oh, a bobbled snap right there. Quarterback goes down. Still gained a yard after that. Heisel. Guy's got to be getting tired.
And that's one concern I had tonight. He hadn't played this position for quite a while, and Coach Trotter had a lot of faith in him, and they still clearly have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, I want to say a quick hello to Brian Smith of West Coast Concrete. He's got us tuned in tonight, and he's following the broadcast and the Twitter feeds and the Facebook updates and stuff like that. Brian just did an amazing piece of work on my property, so I got to recommend if anybody needs stamped beautiful concrete, it will transform your house into something that you wouldn't believe. Brian Smith, give him a call, West Coast Concrete.
Brian, good to hear from you, buddy. Say hi to Mason for me.
Rayson Mason. Smith, he's the man.
Rayson Mason.
That kid's an athlete, too.
He is an athlete.
Brian's just like the nicest guy on the planet. Do anything for you except for give you his cup of coffee.
Yes. No, don't take his coffee. He has to have his coffee in the morning. But he is an all-around good guy.
Okay, the ball carrier again. Get out to
boom, boom.
30.
Gary, this is a fantastic thing you got with the Shasta Sports Network. I am so honored to be here and open this with you tonight. I wish you nothing but success with this. It is a fantastic thing. It's a great thing that you're doing for the community, and you and I go way back, way back. It's been a lot of years, 26-plus years that you and I have been close, and I just want you to know tonight has been fantastic for me.
Okay, thanks for the sappy stuff with 23 seconds left to play. I do this because over time in life, you learn the more you give, the more comes back to you.
Yes.
And
I agree.
You know, I'm connected to Anderson because I grew up here, and I'm working for Shasta right now, and I just couldn't be in a better spot right now, and I'm happy to do it. I'm giving back to my community and just having a great time. Plus, I get to watch a football game.
Yes,
How good
you
is
do.
that?
It's great. It's fantastic.
Okay, so we're going to wrap it up here in just a couple of moments.
And the clock keeps ticking, and they're just going to let it run down. That's going to be the game.
And by a couple of moments, I mean 1 second. Game over. Shasta wins 34-14.
Final score, Anderson 14, Shasta 34.
Nice.
Let's hear it for the
That's a fantastic. Well, Gary, we're going to come back with our post-game show. We got some thinking to do. We will be back momentarily if you want to take us out, Gary.
I will. We are going to be back again next Wednesday night from Fall River Mills as the Fall River Bulldogs take on the Bernie Raiders, and we'll be back in a moment. This is the Shasta Sports Network on XS Sports 96.1 FM.
It's no surprise Biggins Lighting has been lighting up Reading for over 45 years. They have an amazing showroom displaying the latest in designs and styles, a dedicated staff providing superior customer service, and the most affordable pricing in town. Biggins Lighting is your one-stop shop for lighting, fans, fixtures, bulbs, and more. Looking for that special deal? Check in regularly for discounted and blowout items and ask about their internet price matching. Biggins Lighting, located on Pine Street just up the road from Lulu's in downtown Reading. Biggins, lighting up Reading for over 45 years.
Do you ever wonder what happens to your vehicle behind the scenes at an auto body collision repair facility? Wonder no more. Go to HilldCollisionCenter.com and watch a virtual tour of the North Valley's finest and most recommended collision repair business. HilldCollisionCenter.com.
Blitz is defined as a sudden, savage attack.
Yes, it is a savage attack. It's football season, and it's on. We are here tonight, Bob Reed Stadium. Game is over. Shasta wins 34-14. I think it was that. 34-14. Very nice. And it was a good football game. Anderson stuck with them all the way through the first half. They sort of lost, got a little lackluster in the second half. But it was a very good showing for Don Trotter and his ball club here tonight. And now it's time for the first player of the game, brought to us by Hild Collision Center. They proudly support local athletes, and they present this award, Player of the Game. Each player is going to be highlighted throughout the season, and then at the end of the season at the sports banquet, a very special presentation will be made, and a nice contribution from Hild will go back to the Shasta football program. Hild gives back and supports our community. You can see them at 1579 East Cypress Avenue, or give them a call at 222-6828. This was a tough decision, Dan. Tough decision.
It was a hard decision. At first, I was kind of going towards number 55 of Dotson there, but
and Tony Horde had a nice pick too, and his selection had a very good football game. But I had, and all three of us were really equal. We numbered each other 1 through 3, and then we had some extra video guy pick 1 through 3, and he picked number 2. So it could have been any of the three. But our player of the game tonight for opening night is Connor Coghran. He had 2 scores, 1 long run about 60 yards. That got brought back by a penalty, but it was still a really impressive run. And Connor is our player of the game, presented by Hild Collision Center. Connor is in his senior year, 6'2", 190 pounds. Congratulations, Connor. We'll do something really nice for you at the end of the year. Football season is underway.
It is.
It's so nice. Been waiting for a long time. In a moment, we've got the post-game show, which is brought to us by REU. Dave Jackson and Company sponsoring the Sports Network this year. Reading Electric Utility, REU, our community-owned electric utility. Did you know that REU offers many different rebates for energy-efficient upgrades? Check them out. Call REU or check them out on Facebook And you can see him at reupower.com. RU and U, powerful together. Game recap coming up next on the Shasta Sports Network on 96.1 XS Sports.
For over 50 years, Hild Collision Center is still family-owned and operated. It all started when Art Hild opened his first body shop in 1965. Today known as Hild Collision Center, the North State's most recommended full-service collision repair business. The Hild family is proud to continue business in this great community. Every year brings new changes in many forms, from new vehicle models, training and equipment, new technology in aluminum bodies and frames, computers, airbags, and Pearl Clear Coat paints. You can be assured that the team at Hild Collision Center are the best in class. The Hild Collision Center family would like to say thank you to the North Valley for trusting them with your collision repairs and allowing them to grow and support our community. Hild Collision Center on East Cypress Avenue in Reading. Online at hildcollisioncenter.com or find us on Facebook. Hild Collision Center, where you're always a satisfied customer.
Yeah, I love it.
On court.
Football season underway. When I showed up at your place to pick you up today to come to the game, you had the NFL Network on.
I was watching the NFL Network since
you were watching
I got up this morning.
You're watching the Dallas-Seattle game.
Dallas-Seattle game, and I'll tell you what, Dak Prescott for Dallas Cowboys, that kid is unbelievable. He is just fantastic. He's got a lot of something.
A lot of something.
A little Romo better look out.
All right. Your post-game show is brought to you by REU, Reading Electric Utility. They're our community-owned electric utility. REU is proud to give back to our community by supporting local youth sports programs, and that's what this is all about. It was a perfect night here at Anderson, other than the smoke before it got dark. Those fires are really bad in Lake County. They're really bad down in Southern California. We're going to have to deal with some of that when we go to Coalinga for Shasta College next Saturday. But I tell you what, it's been a great football game, and I got to give the game ball to Donald Trotter, head coach of the Anderson Cubs. Donnie's been around this community since he was like 8 years old. He played on the Braves in Little League. He played in high school. He's an excellent baseball player, very good football very good football player. He knows the game as good as anybody. And he's just a nice guy. He's genuine, a genuine guy, and you just enjoy his company. I hadn't seen him for about 30 years before this season started, and Donnie and I had a nice little coming together at his practice the other day, and then we had a nice handshake before the game, and it was just really nice.
We knew
really nice.
We knew before coming into this game that Anderson was kind of in a rebuilding stage, but you know what? He's got a lot of heart.
I'll tell you
and
what.
it shows in his players, the way they play for him.
You're not kidding when you say a rebuilding stage, because he laid down some building blocks tonight.
Oh, yes, he did.
He really did.
He's got a great foundation, and he's got a lot to build on, and it's fantastic that he's got the backing of his players that believe in him, and that's fantastic.
In-your-face football is what it was, and it's only going to progress and get much better from here every week. They'll go back to the practice field next week, and they'll get ready for their next contest. Shasta, I believe, goes to Red Bluff. I think next week. That's the right
Shasta,
schedule.
I believe we are in Red Bluff, I believe, next Friday for Shasta.
Yeah, we will update you on that if you follow the Shasta Sports Network on Facebook, and check out our website, shastasportsnetwork.com. We are covering all the games this year, and it's going to be fun. I've had the best time today. I was telling you before we even came here, I was so tired of all the preparation and stuff that's been going on. This has been in play for a year.
Over a year.
I want to share with you the story about how this network came about. I was doing football for another radio company who is listening to us here tonight, I'm sure. And the River Bowl was at Enterprise. I was already contracted with NASCAR to do a televised race down in Roseville, so I couldn't make it. They had somebody stand in my absence, but that was on a Friday night, but I had to be down in Roseville on a Friday night. So I'm in my hotel room, and I'm thinking, well, I can listen to the football game on my computer, which I did. And it was a good football game. But then I wanted to know what was going on with the Foothill PV game down in Chico that same night. So I found a KPAY Sports app and put it on my phone.
Okay.
So I got one game on my computer on my right. I got one game in my hand on my left. And I'm thinking, look, I'm doing this on a sports app. Why can't I do it myself? I can do it myself. And so that's where the idea was born. and I put some numbers down on some projections and what I thought it would take to make this thing happen. And we went and approached some people. Primarily, the first stop we made was with Dan Landis at Omega Mortgage, and he did not hesitate to get on board. And I asked him, "You're so nice. I mean, you didn't even go through the full presentation with me. Why'd you get on board?" He said because him and Tyler both said this, we like to see people succeed, and we want to help you out and do some things for you. That turned into some business for Omega because I did a refinance with him, and everything worked out together. Tyler Whitlow, I can't say enough about you. Shasta Solutions, where they've got solutions that work for you. Everything that you heard here tonight was flawless. Tyler is behind all of that.
And Tyler did a great job, especially when we were going through those run-throughs. He was right there.
I wasn't expecting. I had him guide me on what laptop to buy because I don't really know that stuff. I just know I want it to work. It's like driving a car. I don't know nothing about a motor, but I know how to put gas in that sucker and head on down the road.
Yeah.
So that's what I told him, and he says, "I got what you need." He did some research, had it back to me within a day, and then I said, "Okay, I'm going to order the computer." He goes, "Why don't you come down to my office and I'll order it up for you?" So we did that.
Wow.
The computer arrived. I don't know what's in that thing. It looks like you might be able to fit about 3 toothpicks and a nickel in there.
But it's really lightweight, too.
It's 3.4 pounds. I call it the NASA in a box. And it's wonderful. So, I'm very thankful and very appreciative to Omega Mortgage, Dan Landis, and even Aaron Landis, who handled all my documentation for the refinance and everything. And Tyler Whitlow, you're the best. I'm very pleased and proud and honored to have you part of our network here because you're the man that makes it go. You're the guy behind the curtain. You're the rat on the wheel, man, making it turn.
He's the wizard.
So we appreciate it. That's right.
He's
He
the
is
wizard.
Also want to thank our good friends at REU Power for being involved with us this year. Of course, the player of the game, Hild Collision Center. You're doing a good thing for your community, and we appreciate that. And, of course, our good friends at Boundary Waters. That's our award-winning or award-winning graphic artist, Michael Carnes. I asked Michael when this concept came out to do two things. I had a production company that I do voiceover work for, and I said, "Michael, can you create me a logo?" Because I'm not good at that stuff, and everybody's got their craft, And he sat on it for a day or two, and then he got to thinking about it, and I gave him pictures. I cut out pictures in magazines, and I pasted them on paper like I was a third grader.
On a poster board.
Yeah, on a poster. Like I was in a kindergarten or something, with finger paint. And he came back based on my suggestions with the perfect logo for my voiceover business. And it was perfect. So it was only natural for me when the sports network came about. Again, I cut out some stuff. I had my little arts and crafts time, my graham crackers and milk and a nap. And I gave him some ideas. And he came out with the Shasta Sports Network logo. And it's got a football player, a basketball player, and a baseball player. And then it's got my other logo theme in a different color behind it.
It's kind of incorporated on top of it, and it looks fantastic. It's a beautiful logo.
Yeah, it's really nice.
And I had a conversation with Michael last week because I'm ordering some shirts because got to have the shirts, got to wear the colors proud.
You got to have your gear, man.
Got to have the gear on, got to look professional, and I tell you what, the nicest guy.
He is nice.
I was running late. We had a meeting with TJ, and I just couldn't get to him in time and make it for the meeting, and he says, "You know what, Dan? Don't worry, I'm just going to pull up the work order, and we'll get them to you."
Yep, you got to have your gear. We're proud to be outfitted by Michael Carnes and Boundary Waters. Trevor Dugan's going to join us on a broadcast later on in the season. We're looking forward to that as well. And we're outfitted. We're ready to go. All you need is a few shirts and one of them white pair of Nike shoes with a big red swoosh on it.
There you go.
It's good stuff. We appreciate everybody who tuned into the broadcast tonight. Thank you so much. For Daniel Miller and Tony Horde, I'm Gary Moore saying good night from the Shasta Sports Network on XS Sports 96.1 FM. We'll see you Wednesday night from Fall River Mills.